The Elite Podcast. We are here. We are live. Big Bros, Tegan, Pang, we're good.
Sound love,
There,
man.
man.
So good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Podcast. We are here. We are live.
it's just good to. I missed you guys last week, but I did catch a little bit what you guys was talking about, and it was a really good show. Coach was actually very funny, and Mountain really did a good job. I wish I was there, but like I said, it was love. I still watch you guys. You guys did an excellent job. 3 hours and a half, God. We breaking records at the podcast, son. I mean business.
Yeah, blessings, fellas. Blessing. Yeah, it was a good interview. Um, it was just good hearing Laka talk. You could tell he probably, despite all the work that he used to get the boys them doing, it probably would have been fun being coached by because he seemed like he could be like a comedian, and he seems also like prep to talk. So it was a good interview, and we definitely learned a lot.
I agree, man. I agree. That it was an amazing interview, man. Like it went by quick. To me, that one went by fast. You know.
I agree,
I
Baba.
actually like it
I
because
agree.
it showed me where Coach Haywood, which Al we play for, Baba representing, where he got his coaching style from when we were beating teams by 90 and 100 and he just won't give up. We keep pressing and crushing these man. And hey, it was crazy just to see where he get his inspiration from. And now I can say, oh my God, St. Croix, you can blame Coach Lacard for all the beating all the private school get from Weaverson because bang, we used to blow out a lot of teams.
Blows a
It was
lot of
crazy.
things.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's true, my son. You could us tell. And plus, he was he good friend with Genix, and you hear Genix story, so you know how all them coaches intertwine and everything, man. So you know.
you you know what was good too, and it really like touch base. Like despite that he was off island, he was still following all of our career, like still keeping up with everybody, and I thought that was real cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because a lot of people when they lose St. Croix is like he ain't no looking back, and it was never like that with him. Even though he started a life someplace else, you could see where his heart was always so, and he still kept up with the local talent. So I really I had liked that part.
That was facts, bang. Because I remember the first time I met him, I always hear a lot about him because he would talk about it all the time. And
Yeah.
so, same way. And when I first met him, I was like, yeah, Coach Lacard, I am. And he done say my name already. And I was like, well, how the hell you know me? I never even know you. You know what I'm saying? So that
Yeah.
was like kind of crazy. This man was already into my career and following me and seeing what I doing. So that was just really love, like you said. He had left the Virgin Islands, but he never left the Virgin Islands in terms of spirit. And that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Right.
cool. He even said on the podcast a few times that Jarvis used to tell him about you, and you was
Mhm.
pretty much like Jarvis' favorite player. You know, he actually pointed that out on
Yeah,
the
rest in
podcast. Yeah.
peace, Alwyn Jarvis. Yeah, rest in peace. He was a really good man too. And I remember traveling with Coach Jarvis and CB, Cyril Benjamin from St. Thomas, and we won the gold medal up there. That's how I earned my scholarship to Jacksonville University. And we pretty much had all the university in the States clamoring over me and Coffee and all the guys there from Rock, Jabari. They wanted the whole team. So those guys really put out a lot for us for we to be where we are today. So it's a lot of love, endless love. And it's nothing I can put in words that I could just say, man, thank you, my son, from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. True, true. That's true, man. Um, I'm gonna do the shout outs now, and then we get to it. So legends 340.com. Go out, support Dingo. I always get fresh new garments. One of the hottest clothing lines out. You know, good
Yeah.
stuff, man. Good stuff. We got Savory Eats LLC, Orlando by Sheena Fontaine. We got the Good Life Apparel. Big up to Nato. We got Andrea with Melting Pot Cooking Class. Follow on Instagram, Melting Pot Cooking Class. Also meltingpotcookingclass.com as well too. We got Cebon Caribbean Restaurant. Big up to our Mitra. We got Apollo Legion. Apollo Legion. We got an Instagram at Island Destiny 340 Serenity Braids by Nikki. We got Rico Canario at www.ricocanario.com. Spotlight R Canario. We got Right Way Service Station located in Princess next to Avis. We got Paris Enterprise. Also follow on Facebook, Live Wire Sports. Follow on Facebook, Live Wire Sports. We got Midnight Entertainment. Big up to Frenchie. And also we got Chico Harris with Next Level Up Printing. Next Level Up Printing. So we here, episode 17.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That's crazy, Mumba. Bang, that's crazy. That's a lot of episodes, my brothers. Wow.
Well, we've been doing it a few weeks now, and we're doing 2 episodes a week. So yeah, that definitely gonna go very fast. I can't. You know what I did last night? I went back and watched my episode. Just recap some of the things that we talk about. I also to kind of like brushing up some of the things that like the way we talk and stuff like that and stuff that we talk about. So it was just good. I was smiling the whole episode. I couldn't stop. It was just crazy. Just
episode
watching
1.
Just watching myself just talk my story and
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys what. I would like to be episode 41 whenever 41 reach.
I talked about that a few episodes ago. I know this manga want to be episode 41. That's a long time down the road.
Yeah.
But that's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mumba, what you gonna be episode? Well, this would have been your episode, Mumba. 17 wasn't your number in high school?
The next 80.
80.
Okay. Yeah, what ain't gonna be mine?
Episode is you?
No, we got Andy Hobart.
God,
okay.
I can't wait for this one. I can't wait for that one. Oh, God. Okay, tonight is tonight though. Let me get to business.
Right.
Richie.
Yes. You go ahead and do introduction again.
I mean, I heard a lot about Richie. Obviously, he's an icon in terms of Virgin Islands baseball and softball because he does a lot of work with the youth team in St. Thomas. He comes over a lot working with sports park and recreation, and he's doing beyond an excellent job. He's always in the mix in terms of working with youths, working with the young men and young women, and he's always on the forefront. So I always saw him. I heard a lot about him, but I'm so anxious to hear his story for himself. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you're hearing it from people where that man will be like, you don't know who that man be? Pass. You ain't wanted no piece of that man. But that's from somebody else. I wanted to hear it from his mouth. I'm going to be a kid in a candy store tonight. Richie, much love. I get a chance to meet you, one of the nicest person I've met. So I'm just going to be like a big fan tonight, Beanie.
You know, as for me, I hear about Richie too. He was younger than me. I never really got a chance to compete against him, you know, but I heard nothing but good things. I know his dad, you know, real well. I talked to someone close to who played against Richie. I know him real well. Actually, a couple people. Now I'm thinking back, and nothing but good things I heard. You know, high character person. You know, awesome dude. They told me like that's somebody we want to go to war with on the baseball field with. That's what they keep telling me. You know, you will love him as a teammate. You know, you will love him as a person. So, you know, like, you know, Tiga said, I'm just here. I can't wait to hear his story, you know, like I couldn't wait to hear everybody else's story, you know, so I'm excited. You know, this is up my alley, baseball. So, you know, I just can't wait.
And for me, I just learning everything I gonna learn is new today. So I gonna piggyback a little bit what Tegan say about heard stuff about him, and I haven't heard much. So it's gonna be interesting to hear his story and just another VI legend, you know, and just I was proud to hear from a VI legend, and regardless baseball, soccer, whatever the sport may be. So
yeah.
For everybody who tuning in, for no further ado, we're gonna bring on the one of the VI legends in the baseball world, Richie. There we go.
Welcome.
Special good evening, man.
Good evening. Good
The
evening.
voice.
Yes, sir. You know I'm here.
Okay, now.
People's choice.
You know it is, man. So good to see you. So good to have a person who works in the same field as me, who have the same mentality and heart. Welcome to the show, man. And I'm so anxious to hear from day one your full story. Can't wait.
This is a humbling experience for me, man, to follow people like the legend Genix and Calvin and Rabbi, it's a humbling experience for me, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Give thanks.
Bomba,
Give
I
thanks,
had a
man.
lot about you, no Bomba. I had a lot about you too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I hope it's good things. I hope it's
Good
good
things.
things. Good things,
Good
you
things,
know.
good things.
Because our Pang and Tegan always talk about how I was a bad boy, you know, so.
But I ain't heard about that.
That's good. That's good. We try to erase
You
that
were a
part.
bad man.
Yeah.
So Richie,
Yeah,
before
man.
we start, how is St. Thomas doing? Because I didn't St. Croix, moving in Orlando, Panglin, Jacksonville. Tell us about St. Thomas, man. How's the scenery? How's the COVID-19, everything? How's the family doing? Let we make sure we get a little blessing up before we start the show. Let me know how St. Thomas doing.
Well, I mean, the family is fine and everybody's good over here. We're just anxious to get back on the field, missing the sports part of it very, very much. But it just takes time. You know what I mean?
True.
That's true. That's true. So, Richie, go ahead. You was going to say something? My bad.
No, I'd say the only thing we could do as the Department of Sports Past Recreation right now is to make sure that facilities are upkept and ready for when they say we could go ahead.
That's facts. That's facts. We're doing the same thing over here in St. Croix. We just prepping and waiting. We actually miss the kids a lot, especially summer camp. This is the first time in 15 years I haven't done a summer camp at St. Croix. Really hot in my heart. I'm doing the virtual. That's how I kind of get a little fulfillment. But from since 2005, I've been in summer camps at St. Croix. This is the first year. So we're hoping this COVID gets some, I don't even know what happened to it, but we hope we get some type of normalcy that we can get back on the track, get back on the field, get back on the court, get back on the soccer pitch, just to get some type of freedom in ourselves to move around.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I always like to start the question first. Rich, tell me how y'all started. You choose baseball, obviously. Was that your first sport when you first started playing? Give us the juice, give us the meat. Let me know.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I had no choice but to play baseball, really and truly. My mother was one of the best soccer players here on the island when it comes to hitting wise and playing. My father, Clendinen, was actually one of talented baseball players in the island. So I was actually born into it. My mother actually played ball with me till up until she was 7 months pregnant with me in her stomach. So you never come out to play ball.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's a real baseball player right there. Real baseball player. Real.
She didn't reach, she got hit, but thank God, brother. Well, my
I could
God.
tell you. I could tell you. I was like, Mommy, you ain't afraid that something happened to me or something? Like, what going on? I just had to play.
Baseball love. That is true. So I guess your mom and your father obviously was your true inspiration growing up since they was players themselves. Is it anybody else on the
Definitely.
outside? Did you kind of idolize, who kind of push you to follow into your parents' footsteps?
Yeah, there's Elrod Hendricks Jr. Everybody call him Slugger, you know, and everybody that was around the ballpark when I came up. My mother played in a team called the Blazers in the 80s. There was 15 players, including my mother, on that team. 14 of the players were my godparents, my godmothers.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's crazy for real.
Yeah,
So
you
every
had no
time,
choice.
He has no choice.
Birthdays and Christmas must have been real good for you.
it had to be real good, real good. But it was not more baseball stuff though.
I was gonna ask you what presents you get. You probably get baseball and cleats and gloves all the time, so you were just getting
Yeah.
Pants and hat and all kind of thing. I got baseball when I was younger, man. Uh, Like
man.
when my mother was practicing, I was as I could walk, I had a bat and a glove in my hand.
Wow.
So
So when she
what
was practicing, I was there taking batting practice with her and her team. Then when my father got to practice, I would be with him and do batting practice with his team. So I was destined to do this thing.
wow. Wow, and you say as you were able to walk, so you were pretty much 1 years old, 2 years old, and you catching batting practice.
I catch it, I feel it, I throw in the ball, I swing in the bat, everything.
Everything.
That's crazy.
Everything.
That
That's
is love.
amazing, man. Yeah, that's love, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So,
Let me-
Richie, when you first started playing baseball, like what age you first? I mean, I know you start as far as in a league.
Organized ball in the league, I started when I was 8 years old. I played Little League. I started Little League at the age of 8 years old. So I was one of the very few that played 5 years of Little League baseball.
Wow, because it goes from 8 to 12, right? Mumbai,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Yeah, 9 to 12.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And I
Yeah,
started when I was 8 years old. So
you
I
had
was
to
I
be
was, I
good
was
to
into
play
it.
at 8.
I was hungry. I was hungry. I didn't care who won among. I was at 8 years old and I go jump in like I was at 12 years old and I go bat against you. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah,
how you get that spirit? Because that's a tough spirit to get at such a young age in terms of being fearless. That's something I mentioned today in the podcast. You got to have that strong belief in yourself no matter what sport you play. How did you get so fearless at such a young age? Because that's key in terms of sports.
I must say it came from playing in the neighborhood. And like in the neighborhood I used to live in, Estate Thomas in the bottom, we had like a season for every sport. And when playing against the bigger boys, I was 6, 7 years old, playing against the older boys in the neighborhood. So I come in and like it's just like the bigger boys in the neighborhood. Me ain't afraid. I
Right?
ready. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Battle tested easily.
Yeah.
Right.
Ready.
yeah. It's true. Get
That
you prepared.
that's one thing I always say is important for like heart. Like I'd try to tell my son, once you start playing against older players, when it come time to playing against your kids your age, it's gonna be like a cakewalk. So you can't be afraid to come out here and play a week. So he just getting started, and I think that's very important in a kid's life.
That's very important. Very, very important.
Let me ask you, Richie,
Um,
because this is a pretty important question because Mumba now is a father and his son is a very good basketball. Same thing as Pan. When I was playing, my father was a very good soccer player. Actually, soccer was my first sport, and the pressures that was on me to kind of trump my father was, I must admit, was a little bit too much intense that I had to go and look for another sport, which was basketball, to kind of make my own way. You coming up now in a totally softball, baseball family. How were the pressures for you? How did you handle it? At any time, did you think it was too much? Did you think you hit 5 home run and they were saying you needed to hit 6 or 7? How was it for you?
It never was like that for me because my father and my mother never put that kind of pressure on me. They always used to tell me, look, you're your own player, do what you could do. You know what I mean? And and I was just doing what I could I do. And like I said, I mimic the game after my father when it comes to hitting. I could have put the ball any place on the field I wanted to because from watching him doing it. You know what I mean? A lot of these youngsters have like professional baseball players as their idols. Coming up, remember I ain't like Robert Stadium from the time I was a baby coming up. So when I got to that age that I could actually understand the game, I was watching people like Calvin Pickering, the left-hander hitting the ball at the ballpark. I was watching Slugger hitting the ball at the ballpark, Elridge Blake and them kind of man. It's never no pressure for me. I just play my game.
Well, that's love. That's love. Bomba, shoot.
Oh, go ahead, Pang. I caught up with
no,
some stuff right here.
I was going to ask like was learning the game hard?
No, not hard at all. Not hard at all. Like I say, it was it came very easy for me because I used to be around the ballpark. I used to watch baseball with my father on TV. I used to study the game, so it really wasn't hard for me at all.
Hmm.
So
Some
let me
people
ask
So
you
just
this.
some people just bond with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with me. Like I say, my mother was playing when I was 7 months pregnant with me, so I guess I was born with it.
So let me ask you, Rich, because now you have hit a great point for my next question. Since you have pretty much been around the sport, you became a student of the game, and now you are a coach. What's the difference you see in today's player that you are coaching compared to in your time? Because in our time, even in basketball, we used to soak up information like a sponge. Is it difficult now to coach this generation because now they are so site based? You actually gotta go out there and show them everything because they can't get. How is it for you?
This generation is very, very tough because, like I said, this is a wall of Fortnite and all them other thing, and then it's like, listen, if you want to play the game, you gotta be a student of the game. Watch some YouTubes, study your positions, watch some professional games, and it's like you have to be drilling that over and over. So they're not doing that. So now when it comes to practice, now it's okay. I gotta start responding with this shirt, you know what I mean? And I really have to break it down into okay, let's start with the catching, let's start with the throwing, and let's break it right down. It's very hard in these times.
Wow.
Yeah, I could imagine. I could
It's
definitely
crazy.
imagine.
Trust me, it's really hard. So I can echo what you just said. So
So
we're leaving from your elementary. I like to ask a lot of questions because me, you
wait,
know a
wait,
lot.
wait,
So I
wait,
really
wait,
are naive.
Tigan.
You know? Okay, go
Wait,
ahead.
wait, wait. Yeah, yeah. Before we leave, I kind of touch on your little league experiences. How was it playing? I know you started when you was 8 years old, so you was playing against all the older kids. How did that first season go? If you could kind of remember, and then kind of touch on your next couple years in little league before you went into senior league, like Tegan said, leaving elementary.
Well, my very first at bat, I was remember for the rest of my life, was against a guy named Dexter Somersault. I think you know Dexter,
I know Dexter, very good pitcher,
Dexter
very
Somersault.
good pitcher,
I
very
don't
good
know who
pitcher.
Dexter is. And my very first at bat was against Dexter, and I step in the box like I say, listen, me afraid of you. You go through the back of the plate, I get batted, man. I go hit the ball, and his first pitch of the hammer base and back up the middle. And from then,
Wow.
everything was take off for me. It was Twins
Wow.
versus Rebels, Twins versus Rebels. And my years at Little League, that was the biggest rivalry in St. Thomas. Twins versus Rebels. You'll swear
Twins
I asked that
versus
game
Rebels.
every year, and then two teams play. And I know, KLX too. KLX won Rebels, and I won Twins.
Okay, Felix on the Rebels.
Exactly. He played on the Rebels, and I was on Twins. And from I think KLX came in a year after me because he came when he was 9. I was there when I was 8. And my Little League time was one of the best times I had playing ball, man. And I was telling everybody, Michael Butte is one of the best coaches I ever had in my career. Everybody to say, "Oh, Butte, the coach, talent, this and the man know what he doing." You know what I
That's
mean?
good.
He know how to put situations where they need to be. He know how to put the players where they need to be at given time. He know when the pitcher needs to go. He know Butte is just phenomenal when it comes to the game. You know what I mean? And like I say, 5 years with him. In my Little League experience, the lowest Twins ever run in the league for my 5 years was third place.
Oh, that's pretty good, man.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah,
And I was
that's
1 year.
good. Great
I
record.
think I was 10 that year. And every other year we competed for the championship. I won the championship 3 out of the 5 years I was in Little League.
So let me ask you, Bean, you want to jump in?
No, go ahead.
So as you now realizing now you're starting to win some championship in the league, you're starting to feel yourself, as you starting to move on to the next level. When did you realize like you are pretty special in terms of being a baseball player? And did you have a lot of recruitment in terms of the next level, in terms of colleges and even major leagues? How did all of that went? Like when did you realize you were really good? It didn't hit me until I was pretty much until Pang Leaf Complex. When one Pang Leaf Complex in 11th grade, I say, okay, it's my turn now. When it hit you,
I think it hit me when I was 12. My last year at the league is when myself, Jacoy, Jelani Daniels, we had to carry the Twins. And that year we battled against Caddy Shepherd that year to win the championship that year. And then we went into 11-12 All-Star. All the talk was, hey, St. Thomas, Alvin being East go beat up on West this year. We got pitching, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. And from the first ball out of that pitcher had, the crowd was quiet. and
oh man,
because the final score of the first game was 16-0.
wow,
Okay.
Jeez.
The second game we beat them 15-1 and moved on to St. Croix. We came to Pali Joseph Stadium. And that same year, Jose Burgos, we played against Jose Burgos. I can't remember the rest of the guys in the team, but I know Jose stood out that year. This was the best game I ever played in baseball. We was down 9-1 going into the 4th inning in a 6-inning game.
Jeez.
in the All-Star game at Paris Joseph Stadium. And of course, I was one of the captains of the team. I went in the dug. I said, listen, guys, you know we ain't got no quit in our heart, right? You know we ready, we battle test ready, right? Wherever I am, so let we go from the top of the 4th inning to the 6th inning. It's going on 10-9, we win the game.
That's
You
perfect.
know?
Hurts my heart to hear that. It hurts my heart to hear that. It hurts my heart.
Never dying spirit, man. That's a spirit you need. Never give
Yeah,
up
man.
and till it's the very end. And that's one thing I preach to a lot of young people here in St. Croix. You cannot give up and last until it's over. You always got a shot. So that's a great
Uh,
story right there.
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
true,
tell you,
man.
man, this game right here, man, it will make or break you. You know what I mean?
It's
And
true.
you gotta be battle test ready all the time. You know,
That's
pick up
right.
your teammates, keep yourself going, never give up, never quit, keep pushing. You know what I mean? Never know what will happen. Never know what will happen. You know, that same year we went to Venezuela. Now, in my 5 years at Little League, I never hit the ball at the park. Playing in St. Thomas or St. Croix. Never. I was one bounce over the fence, line drive off the fence, triple, double, whatever. Never hit a hooper. Began Venezuela, 1995 All-Star. We was down 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning. I come to back with the bases loaded. Guatemala coach called time. I said, okay, time, okay, cool. I see this, I know, I 5'2", 5'3". I see this kid coming out of the dugout, must be 6'1", 6'2". Like, he can't be 12. I look at Butte. I look at Butte, Butte look at me. I said, Butte, this man can't be 12. Butte said, well, hey, he on the team. What you going to do? I started watching through the first one. I said, yes, sir. It's a serious fastball. I said, if that's all he got, he in trouble. Throw the fastball. Now, my turn to bat. Now I went to the plate. I bat. Foul off the first one. He threw 2 balls. I foul off the next one. Kid you not. The next 9 pitches out of his hand were foul ball. I step out the box. I look at Butte. Butte look at me. He say, what you going to do? I step back in the next pitch, his hand, knock it over the fence, grand slam home run.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So, can you touch on that? Because I playing Little League, we never beat Rock to playing the in the Caribbean Little League, to try and make it to Williamsport. So, talk about the experience as a Little Leaguer going to Venezuela to play against all the different Latin countries and the Caribbean countries in Little League.
It's a wonderful, wonderful experience because back then in Little League, we didn't had all the travel teams going here, going there, going everywhere. My first time playing Alpha St. Thomas when I was 10 years old, going to St. Croix. You know, the next year, and I'm going to Puerto Rico to play with the All-Stars. So playing again in that tournament to me was one of the best feelings ever. And I want to grow and I want to shine.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, but
Let me
then
touch a little bit more on that.
that year, I
How
think
was?
that year.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Richie.
That year I was a left-handed catcher. I caught a catch. I was playing first base and I caught a catch. Kadish Shepherd, I don't know if you remember Kadish Mumba.
Yeah. I know Kaddish, yeah.
Kadish used to throw BB shots. And our original catcher couldn't catch Kadish. So you turn to me and say, I need you to catch Kadish. I said, no problem. I'm going to be his catcher for us. No problem. First game against the home team, Venezuela, we went down there. I behind the plate and then the chattering start talking. Oh, that's a left-handed catcher. Wow. This guy is, what's going on? And I was blocking the balls. I throw him on against second base. I just catching the game. We end up winning that game 4-2. And after the game, a big newspaper write-up, a big interview. I think, now, me, I was 12 years old. Why nobody newspaper write-up?
Yeah.
And, that's funny because that's the question I'm going to ask you. That experience when you see it, because these countries really take these sports so much more seriously than in the Virgin Islands. How was our discipline and formation? We always have talent, but in terms of the discipline structure compared to those teams that you see, and you just touched on the other question, when you guys did well, were you amazed that these people would be interviewing a 12-year-old kid? Because they are already looking at you as a stardom. What was that like a whirlwind shock for you?
That was mind-boggling to me. And then the other thing was that we played Venezuela the first game. We beat Venezuela. Now we became like the home team. It's like everybody was like, oh, VI team, this VI team is good, this VI team, and I was like, and you like look around, people want your autograph. Like, I'm 12 years old though.
Yeah,
You want my autograph? Like, really?
It's
That's
crazy.
nice.
You know,
Man, that's crazy.
But it just
very
shows the
crazy.
contrast, Richie, in terms of how we really love sports in the VI. It's like I always say, it's like we were blessed with too much riches of talent that we don't understand what we truly have. Where you can leave a country that with 100,000 people, you go into Venezuela with over 10 million and change, and you dominating they best of the best, and they people want your autograph as a 10 at 12 years old, and then you come back to the VI, and it's like, bloop, yeah, Richie, what good? You all right? It's like nothing. Like what we missing? What we missing?
What are we missing? You know what I mean? That's the
Passion,
question.
passion. We missing the passion. That's what it is. Them other countries, man. They sports, man. Sports is their way out. So the passion and the love they have for the game, man. No matter how old you is, this if they see great talent, they're gonna give you the flowers. No matter if you're the opponent, they just love to see great players. Is that passion and that love for the game. It's the same way like how we love, you see the NBA players and you see a good player and it's like, you just love it, man. And that's what it is.
Exactly.
And it's a different,
Exactly.
for me, I can mention it's a different type of respect. Because I played for Guaynabo in Puerto Rico for like 6 years professionally. We went to the semifinals a couple of times, almost went to the final, blah, blah, blah. It ain't about me tonight. But I used to go to this one favorite restaurant called Uno's in Guaynabo. And the owner, he was such a big fan. No matter when I go there, this man would not let me pay for my food. It was that crazy.
Wow.
And I would be like, dude, I can pay for my food, man. He will not let me pay for nothing. And I would be like, damn. I come home, you better believe everybody 150 cents. You ain't nothing for free, brother. Who you think you be? You is nobody. So it's like a big whirlwind because I always say no matter what sport we always have the talent. It's just that we don't respect the talent enough to nurture it, to create our own special. Even if we can't get our own professional team, we should have had a traveling team that could have the Venezuelan league. They will accept us. We have something called a Caribbean region. We can play in these places. So it's not difficult. We can play in these places. They will accept us as a Caribbean region. You know what I'm saying? We won't be outcast, but we don't do it. So, like, what we missing? That's my question, Pang. What are we missing? What happening? Pang, stop.
We missing. Hey,
you going in and out, but I didn't hear that you are asking a question to me.
Okay.
So, but I don't know what's missing, honestly. Like to put my finger on it, like we talk about this every episode, and we're gonna continue to talk about it until somebody here and start to get stuff moving. But it just got the right people in the higher ups of the Virgin Islands to just start like refocusing their attention. You know what I mean? Like start listening to the right places, man, and keep their ears to the streets, keep their ears to the youth, to the people them that's nurturing the youths and raising the youth, and just start putting the money in better places, man, because right now it just seems like the Virgin Islands just falling and falling and falling and falling and just going deeper into a black hole, and it just seems like actually like no less and less people caring, you know. So it just need the right people in the positions in the right positions to just refocus their goals and when they're going into Senate and government and legislation or in anything to do with government and just refocusing their goals, man, and vision. That's what we're missing, you know.
Exactly.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And then we gonna talk about this more, as time go on. It's good conversation, because maybe the people who watching might, get some good ideas and stuff. But we're gonna take it back to Richie. So Richie.
But before he go, just a quick question. You mentioned when you were playing and you were catching for the partner. You mentioned like chatters. Because I'm a left-hander, like I'm curious to know what do they have against left-handed catchers? Because you said that the chatters was starting that, or he's a left-hander, so it seemed like that was a dumb foul. He catching left hand, so that stand out to me.
Well, what in baseball, they very, 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 very rarely you see a left-handed catcher. Very rarely. And for them to see that as a left-handed catcher and I like looking like a right-hander behind the plate is like it was amazing to them. You know, Mumma could tell you left-handed catchers are very, very rare.
Yeah, no, he's right, very rare because it actually
And-
it doesn't
Well,
even
I
have
don't
a
understand why. Can you give me an example and paint a picture for me why they don't like left-handed catchers?
I'm not really sure because, like I say, to me, you have an advantage as a left-handed catcher, really and truly, when it comes to picking off the first base and stuff like that. And I'm not sure why you don't see much more left-handed catchers behind the plate. You'll see more in softball than in baseball. And I never had understood why. I can understand you're not playing second, third, and shot because it's very awkward playing third base and trying to turn the trap at second base and from those positions. But I'm not sure why when it comes to catching.
So
Okay.
it got to do with probably got to do with positioning, and that's understandable.
That's the main thing.
So Richie, heading into senior league now, how was that experience like? Playing senior league, and can you touch on the name of the team that you play for?
Well, I played for 3 different senior league teams actually. My first year when I was 13, that was the year that Maryland actually hit the Virgin Islands, and my mother decided to move back from St. Thomas to St. John by her mother, which she's from St. John. So it was very difficult for me to get back and forth from St. John all with the Corwin Terrace to play ball and stuff like that. My father was out working because at that time he was in the police force and he was working security in the mall and stuff. So it was very difficult that first year for me to get on. I was playing with Pals that year. But what made me leave Pals was that Butte came to me and told me, hey, I bring in Twins up to senior league. I played for Twins and I left in the league. Of course I can play for Butte in senior league. And playing that year I actually got back to playing with those guys I was playing with in Little League. So it was very comfortable and I got to more of the games and were flowing and making that jump to senior league was very easy for me. The only thing was different with the long base paths. That's the only thing was different. It's
true.
a big difference going from 60 to 90, but that's the only difference. Then the following year I ended up playing with Astros, which was my brother team. I moved with my father in St. Thomas, and he was like, I don't want you to play this, I want you to play with your brother. So I went to end up playing with my brother in Astros, and that was the year when turned to 15. Made All-Star that year, we lost to St. Croix that year. Then I went away to school, but when I came back home, there was like, senior league has extended from 13 to 15, from 2013 to 16. I was like, yeah, I could play senior league another year. Well, I played then. And I ended up playing with Astros 2 years back to back.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question real quick. This is a little offbeat question. It's pertaining to baseball. So we have interviewed four baseball players now, Bumba?
Yeah, Robbie, Terry, Pico, and
Rasan.
Yep, and then you got Genix, and the
I
coach.
got a quick question. Every time I hear I say baseball story and I talk about I upcoming, it's always little league, TV league, senior league. Like they don't have baseball in school. I never hear anybody talk about I play for Chicken Hearts, I play for Eagle Kids, I play for I don't know the middle school them and elementary, but I don't hear no school. They didn't have baseball in school.
Back when I was coming up, we didn't have no elementary or junior high baseball. We only had varsity baseball. So I played 1 year for the Chicken Hawks, actually. 1 year
I
for
didn't
Chicken Hawks.
know that. That's a great question, Pang. I didn't know that because You're right. They always talk about outside league. Nobody never really talk about the
Right.
school.
I was like, well, nobody don't play in school. Like nobody has mentioned like school league. Everybody talk about the
Yeah.
TV league and the. So
Is that
okay, that's
because
good to
Richie,
know.
you will know more? Is that because they don't have enough teams to field in school? What's the problem
Uh,
there?
I think back then the main focus was probably basketball, really
And
and truly,
volleyball.
and volleyball. And at the younger level, nobody was trying to deal with baseball on that younger level. When you want to play baseball down there, you go play little league. You know what I mean? So it really didn't have none of those. When you reach after senior league, remember senior league was 13 to 4, 13 to 15. So
Yeah.
after senior league, you play the varsity, which is 16 to 18, which in baseball, which was in the schools. So I'm not really sure why, but back then it really didn't have no baseball in school under the age of 15, unless you were playing from ninth grade straight up in high school.
That's really strange. Is that
You
the
know,
same thing
Uh-huh.
today?
you know what it is too is that probably not now, but during his time and my time coming up, it have so much leagues outside of school that you don't really have time to play school baseball because you have little league, you have senior league, so you don't really have time to be playing baseball for junior high or
For the school.
for the school and elementary and stuff like that. Only when you get to high school, and then that's when. But even then, it wasn't even that big of a league,
Wow.
Yeah, I
as a
think
school league.
the year I played for Charlton was 1998, and that year we had a awesome team with the type of guys like Jamal Kelly, Caddy Shepard, Trent Chesterfield. You had Rashid Hadj. Remember, I think you might remember Rashid Hadj.
Yeah, I know Rashid. We play against you
Rashid
guys.
Hadj. You played against you guys exactly.
Yeah,
And that year I think LeBron was playing with Durkin, and he had a hard time with Charlton High School that year.
yeah. Complex went over to St. Thomas and play. I think we played Chicken
So
Hearts and we got
You did play.
destroyed.
so remember
Yeah, did play
you
us. Yeah,
play
did play us.
you, you play baseball in high school too?
Yeah, I played for the complex team.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See, I didn't even know complex a baseball team. Now that we talking about it.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
God, my baseball family gonna be upset, man.
Well, Tigger, you know them had a baseball team?
No, I didn't know at all. I know now because now he's a basketball coach, so I do know they have a baseball team now. But back then, we never really
Mm-mm.
heard much about baseball at all because most of the baseball players was basketball players, i.e. Mumba, Neg. So you guys was actually crossing over to basketball. I guess you guys figure most of the basketball players get all the women them, so you were kind of coming over.
No, you crazy.
I don't know. I just putting it out there.
No, real quick, just real quick. When the complex team when we won the championship, we played against Terry Byron. Were playing with St. Joseph, and Maki were playing with Central, and we had to beat St. Joseph and Central to win the championship. Then we went over and we played against Chicken Ox, and we got destroyed.
Oh,
Mr. Miller was the baseball coach.
That team that year, that high school team that year was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I was in ninth grade. Myself and KLX, we was in ninth grade, and that team was just that was too tough.
wow.
Yeah, man.
So let me
Richie,
talk about you, Richie, in terms of
Richie, wait here. Richie, you see what I have to deal with these two? They have no respect for baseball players.
no, we do have respect. Stop it. We actually now we coming really student at the game. We actually the
Right,
most
right.
now. We want to know more about the sport. You know what I'm saying? So we actually, I mean, I love all the stories we have heard so far. Trust me.
It's just a difference in questioning, Mom. That's all it is. Just a difference in questioning.
Yeah.
But we are very interested and respect the sport because
That's right.
all the stuff all the stuff that I talking about, I have no idea, and I know I would never be able to just come up and do the things I had to do. So I definitely have ample amount of respect for our sport.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. Me and Richie
Really
appreciate it.
appreciate it. I
So,
appreciate
Rich,
it very much.
So, Rich, I want to jump into recruitment because this is a lot that will touch a lot of the young viewers who will watch this podcast any time. How was your recruitment process in terms of college, even major leagues? Did you get any snippet? What happened? Did any incident happen? You know, I know a couple stories, but I would like for you to tell it yourself. What happened?
Well, I left the island fall 1998 to go to school in Augusta, Georgia. I went to go live with my uncle. Um, First day I got into the school, I said, I can look for the baseball coach. I went straight to the baseball coach. I was walking in the office and said, my name is Richard, and I'm from the Voice Noise, and I would like to try out for the baseball team. The first question that this man mouth was, you don't play no baseball in the Voice Channels. How you the hold a bat? How you the hold a bat? I was like, you serious?
I don't
Crazy.
slap that man.
I said, you serious?
Yeah, Pug.
I said, look at me, someone in the back. Just tell me when tryouts and practices, and I could be right there.
That's crazy.
That is so retarded, man. I gonna leave that for another day. When I used to amaze me the type of question these people ask me when I first move up here. So I'm like, you serious?
I tell you.
Yeah, I live in trees and I can have done
Yeah.
I remember one time a girl asked me a question if we got cable in the Virgin Islands. I tell the girl, hey, right now, I guarantee you get a better conversation with that lamppost next to you. I ain't answering that question.
Oh God.
Yeah, man, it'll be funny. It'll be real funny. You know what I mean? And so the first 2 weeks of practice, we're just running. You know, we were running, doing our thing. We finally says, okay, let's do some relay throw drills. The boy get already know as a natural first baseman now. I said, I'm playing outfield no more as a natural first baseman now. And I'm doing my thing. You start shaking here when you watch me. Say, I think we might got something here. I watched him and I just smile. The next week we went to batting practice now. The first thing on the hand, crack out! He said, whoa, hold up, whoa. Crack out! He said, whoa, wait, coach, we have something here. I was like, we have something here? Yeah, you're damn sure we have something here. The man come and tell me, then after the batting practice done, he come and tell me straight up, he said, okay, you're in 10th grade, right? I said, yeah, I'm in 10th grade. He said, okay, here's what I'm going to do for you. You're going to be on a JV team, but you're playing varsity as well. I was like, oh. So I had 2 teams? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. It had days when the JV team were playing 3:15 at the school. And as the game finished, I jumped in the coach truck to drive 30 minutes to the next ballpark to play for the varsity game. And I changed it in the coach truck to just jump on the field one time when we reach the ballpark.
That's crazy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Tiga, we can't hear a bullet yet, man?
Bullet.
About time.
Crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy, brother. I just enjoy the story, fam. Like
you so caught up, man. You missing your bullet opportunity.
Like what we doing right now, people don't understand how good you really have to be that a coach is gonna wait for you to finish one game to take you to another game. You don't understand how much talent you have have that type of respect, man. And like the Virgin Islands don't understand it, man. And we hear this from Richie, and we heard it from our boys with the past couple episodes with Rabi and them guys 5 shutout back to back to back. People don't show.
Yeah, that's crazy.
5 shutout back to back to back to back to back. No, that don't happen. That's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Or tell your feelers to sit down for the rest of the game. For the rest of the inning.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it'll blow my mind because it just showed me we don't know the type of talent we have.
And that year we actually won the junior varsity county championship that year, and I was the MVP of the team, of course. And
wow.
We fell short on the varsity level, but next year I came up. Junior was my best year playing ball in high school up there. I went off and I had one man in the room sleeping, and my uncle called me from the kitchen. I was like, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, what you calling me so early for? I sleeping. He said, boy, bring it behind here, let's come watch what you're looking at. Sit down on the table. I said, what you watching? He pointed at the newspaper. He said, look at that. I said, what's that? I said, okay, see my name. Why are you batting 647? What? Wait.
Jeez.
I think it's number 3.
Wait. I don't think I understand what you just said.
Jeez.
647.
You batted 6. You batted 647, you say,
647. And I think it is number 3 in Augusta. When he was saying, boy, read the top of the thing. I say, wait, I batted number 3 in whole state of Georgia? You kidding me?
Wow.
So when I take a newspaper, I take pictures, I send to my mother, I put it up in my room and that kind of thing, you know? The morning when I went back to school, the morning when I went back to school, the coach had the same newspaper in the office, come in the office, look at this. I was like, yeah, I see this weekend, you know?
That's crazy.
If my memory serves me good, I know high school and major leagues is on a different level, but just for people to understand that batting average, I think Barry Bonds' career batting average was in the 5 something, or
Nah.
if my memory serves me correct, or higher. Was it higher?
No,
His
3
career batting average was like 2 or 3 something.
Yeah.
I'm doing 3 something.
See,
like
not
1.
even close to 6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's hard to do that. I know that much, Mumba.
You're right. It's hard. That's crazy.
That's very hard.
Like I said, I wouldn't want to hit the ball at the park here and there, but I gonna base it due to that.
Right.
I go pick my spot at the field and I gonna hit the ball if I want to hit the ball. That's how it was for me. Really,
Man.
That's amazing, man. Amazing.
I got 2 questions, and one of them you don't really have to get into if it's too personal. But what was the decision to move to Augusta? And I wanted you to share some adversities that you went, in addition to the man asking you if you ever hold a bat. Like, name some of the adversity you went through when you moved to Augusta, like when you make that transition.
The decision to move to Augusta was just to get notice. Period. I kind of was like, okay, I ain't growing no more hair. I need to go someplace where I could actually challenge myself, play against different people on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And that was one of the reasons why he said, okay, I can move with my uncle. My father want me to go, I can go. You know what I mean? And with him saying that, I was like, people up here are just really illiterate. That's not what my thinking, you know? It's like, you don't even know where the Vosges is. But I go make you know where the Vosges is.
Right. I'm going to hit the ball the next time I'm up to bat.
Yeah, I'm going to make you know if I take. Because when you see me play, you're going to go and search and start looking for people from the Vosges to come up and play ball as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I felt that I had to do good, because if I do good, then more people get opportunity that I had coming up to Augusta.
That's true.
And that was
how did the players adjust to you?
VI hitting the ball here, there, everywhere. I love VI. And that's when they couldn't pronounce my last name, so they used to call me VI. I love VI. Come, let's go. You play ball.
That's awesome. So what kind of schools were coming to you? What kind of schools were really coming after you? Because I know the schools in the South are mostly baseball powers. You had like Florida and stuff on your radar, Georgia, UCLA, California.
Well, as far as schools, University of Georgia, University of South Carolina was actually looking at me at the time. I had a JUCO in Florida looking at me at the time too as well. And then the Kansas City Royals was actually looking at me, and the St. Louis Cardinals at the time. After my junior year, when I came back up for my senior year.
Wow.
Man, that's the beauty about baseball that me and Pang probably grudge a little bit. You guys will get watched when you guys there in high school, son. They ain't studying we unless we come out of college, unless we LeBron James or Chasey McGrady. You ain't getting that look. You gotta go prove yourself on another level, brother. That's crazy.
And then even when you do go to college, you better go to like a big school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So hard.
It's true. You're right.
I mean, it was unfortunate.
High school, God.
It was really unfortunate for me, because coming towards the end of my junior year, our 3 of our players got into a major accident.
Wow.
Where the catcher, he passed away. Our shortstop was paralyzed. Our shortstop was paralyzed, and the pitcher, he made it out okay. You know what I mean? He was a driver, so he made it okay. So we ended up not having a catcher. So I was like, Coach, I could catch. You know what I mean? And I ended up catching that year. And when we went into the senior year, right before this regular season started, we played an exhibition game against Glen Hills High School. I break my ankle.
Oh,
Plate to the plate.
Wow.
Jeez.
So that kind of discouraged me at the time. I was like, man, I was doing so good, and this happened. I can't even play my senior year at baseball no more. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I was really discouraged. You know, and when I graduated and came home, I tell my mother, "Mommy, me want to go college." But you know what she tell me?
Got to go.
Boy, meaning that when you get your behind up, pack your bag and go to school.
Right.
Yeah.
I got accepted to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
At the time when I went there was NAIA. And, you know, I went into the school. The first week, you know, as a mommy's boy, I didn't want to be here. I miss home. I want to go back home. The first week my mother stayed, I stayed in the hotel with her. I didn't even went on campus yet. I got my room. I get everything. She buys stuff. We move it in the room. But I go back to the hotel with her. And I think she left the Saturday. And the Sunday, I just happened to be walking the campus, and I saw one of my friends from high school down there. I was like, wait, what are you doing here?
Ricky?
He said, not Ricky. I didn't meet Ricky at the time yet.
Oh,
I met Enoch. I met Enoch first. Enoch was like, hey, you go to school? I was like, yeah. What you say? He said, come and take you to the block, man. I said, wait, we got block up here in Columbia? What do you mean we got block? So when he took me to the block, that's when I said, wait, that's Rick, man. Ricky walking in there, you know? And I was like, okay, well, I cool now, man. I good. I cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to get my next day. I'm going to look for the baseball coach, but I ain't going to do it now. So I end up going to the
What
weight
year?
room now.
What year you went to Benedict?
2001.
Okay.
Well, you were there. You were there when I was in college, and we used to play Benedict because I used to play against Ricky.
What school you went to?
I went to EWC.
Yeah, okay, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
So I was
we took
telling
on
you,
Ricky, then man.
that was
You ever know who Pang was at them time?
No, I didn't know who Pang was.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know who Pang was. So the next day, I ended up going to the weight room. You know, I signed my name on the paper. I went to lift weights and stuff. I lifted weights. Like 2 minutes later, I had my name getting called. Richard Clendinen. Who is Richard Clendinen? I was like, oh wait, I do something wrong. I wasn't supposed to touch this weight or something. He said, I's Richard, what going on? He said, come step in my office, young man. I said, okay, cool. I went to the office, sit down. I said, did I do something wrong? He said, no, you didn't do nothing wrong. People have book, I opened the book. My name, my information, my stats, everything from high school. He was like, I'm looking for you a long time. I have a scholarship here for you. I was like, what? But how you know what coming here?
Wow,
He said,
crazy.
well, I got
Crazy. Bullet.
I got call from Dahlia Thomas, which is chicken, and said that you was coming to the school. And I had no choice but to, you know, to do it. I have a scholarship here waiting for you. I was like, okay, cool. That's wonderful. You know what I mean?
Right?
Man.
Just let the viewers them know Richie out, because a lot of people in the Virgin are listening right now, especially a lot of my youngsters. I tell them to watch these shows. People in the Virgin Islands don't know how hard it is to get one of them scholarships. We
They
just
don't know how.
just brush over these things like, yeah, we play ball in the VI, we should get a scholarship. Understand, there are millions of people in the States, millions of people in Santo Domingo, Cuba, Venezuela, all these different places who can get that one scholarship. And that scholarship was awarded to a VI man. For some reason, we don't grasp that, dude. I don't think we really grasp that. I say that all the time with Tim Duncan, not to change subject. This man is not one of the greatest men from the VI alone. This man is top 4 in the whole entire world. You ain't
Right.
grasp that, dude. You ain't know how much billions of people in the world, like
Right.
we ain't
You ain't
understand,
lying.
man. He's not just one of the best in the VI, he's one of the best in the entire world.
In history.
And
In
came from
history.
you don't understand that. And that day they're just like, wow, I could never grasp it. Like, what would it take for you to understand what you have? It's just sad.
Yeah, it's sad, very sad.
Very, very sad. That's true. That's true. That's amazing, man. That's an amazing story.
That's amazing. You ain't even looking for a scholarship, and the dean of the school look you up and say, dude, I realized you there at my school. What you doing? What you doing? You're playing. I was like, scholarship here for you. That's crazy.
And he told me when he was in Augusta, he actually saw me play when I was in 11th grade. And he knew that I was a junior, and that's how he got to notice me. You know what I mean?
It's a and one thing like you don't like God to work in mysterious ways. It's a good thing he came on your best year, your junior year, and he
Like,
so that left a lasting impression in his head.
Yeah.
He didn't even needed to see another year, regardless of how your career went. The next year, he done saw everything he needed to see. He had that scholarship waiting for you.
That's
exactly,
true. That's
exactly.
true.
That is crazy. I mean, that is love, son. You
That's
just got me
amazing, man.
blushing from ear to ear.
The one
Right.
thing I want,
Like these
the
stories.
one thing I want to tell the young people in high school and thing now, please, please, please take the SATs serious. Take it very serious. I did it. I get up on a Saturday morning. Why am I here on a Saturday morning? I ain't belong here. I sleepy. I tired. It's Saturday, and I just brush through it. You know what I mean? I could not play my first year of college because of my SAT scores.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have to redshirt
I
that year.
went
You
through
know
the
what I
same
mean?
thing. I went through the same thing.
So
So
serious, man.
please,
Gotta take it
please, it's
serious.
very serious. Take it serious, man. If you could take it 3, 4 times before you graduate, do so. You know what I mean? At the higher, the better for you. You know what I mean? Like
That's
So
well.
I, I
That's
just
well.
I just I just got text a few minutes ago, Richie, from Leroy Kilo Thomas. So Leroy Kilo want to know how you got interviewed before he.
hey, tell Cuzzo I older than he.
Bang, you're causing problems now, Mumbai.
No man,
Kilo, call
I
me. You get my number, Kilo. Call me. I don't think you get my number,
I
but
reach
tell you
out.
call me.
I text you when we first start and tell you that you're there. And I didn't know he was your cousin though, but for all the baseball players, especially from Rack too, I had to make sure let him know when we doing a baseball player from Rack. So that was his response.
Yeah, he learned, but he
I
learned the game from me. So take Kilo cool out.
I gonna make sure tell you that.
We have a lot of people to get to. So Kilo, don't worry. We gotta get to you. I still gotta get my boy Lavan Sarawan too. So Kilo,
Yeah,
don't
hey,
worry.
Lefron's a good guy.
We gonna get to you.
I I don't tell Kilo. I tell Kilo me no much about his baseball career, but I go name drop it. So I gonna make sure let Mumba know and we gonna get he on.
Yeah,
So we
I
coming
know.
to you, Kilo.
Yeah, I hear about Kilo. Yeah, Richie, quick question, because Jason, you know Jason Page, right?
Yes, I played against
Yeah.
him.
Did you play with a guy named Bobby Gilbert?
No.
No. Okay. So Jason was asking. We thought you might have played with him because we have played with him. So yeah.
I did not. But
So
like I tell everybody, man, college was the best time of my life. Playing sports, period. Playing baseball, period. The best time. And the best thing that happened to me was I my first year was the NIA, that's a red shirt year. And when I came back for my sophomore year, we end up in Division 2 SIAC conference.
mm,
So it was playing Morris College to the other schools, and I got Albany State University and Clark Atlanta and other schools. It was a good experience.
to my knowledge, Benedict is a Division 1 now.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I think Benedict is a Division 1. I don't know if you remember Langolo mentioning that on a few shows ago.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. She did mention that.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
is a
awesome.
yeah.
Division
That's
One
awesome.
now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome, man.
I was I wanted you to elaborate on some of the experiences you had in college, some of the games, some of the the teams that I play. I know you said Morris. You just mentioned Morris College. We used to play them too in basketball. But just share some of your stories in college.
My first 2 years of college ball, actually, we had a hard time with Albany State University. For some reason, we couldn't get Albany State beat the first 2 years. They had a big left-hander that's train BB shots like 96 mile per hour. I mean, he couldn't strike me out, but we had a hard time beating that team. We went back and forth with Payne College that year. Clark Atlanta University. We went back and forth with those guys. We played against some of the schools up in the countryside, like Erskine College. We even came down to Savannah State and played Savannah State University. We played Elizabeth City University in North Carolina, in Virginia, and we played Virginia State as well too. But we played a lot of schools around the area. We even traveled to Alabama and played Alabama State University. So we played against some Division I schools as well. So it was a very humbling experience for me, especially being in the SIAC conference, a very competitive conference.
I was about to say, are you playing some big name college? You know, like I know Savannah State, Allen, and you saying a lot of university. You know, you have Benedict College, and a lot of schools that you saying is university. And listening to that, so are you playing up?
Yeah, and I think and I was so hot. I was so hot when it came to my junior year, and the bug bite me again. You know, when we playing in the SIAC conference, and we have a wide open foul area, Mumba. You know, I could have run to catch a foul ball in the foul territory playing for space easy. We got to Elizabeth City, North Carolina now. Pop up to the first base side. I went to catch the ball. When I realized when I catch the ball, my hand and tap the dugout. And it's that they got to go downstairs. I fall right downstairs, boom on the stairs.
Jeez.
Smash up my hip.
Oh, man.
That's the worst dugouts, man. I hate those dugouts, man.
I would have sued your school. You didn't sue your school? I would have sued the school. I bet you.
I had insurance, so I had insurance through the school, so I really didn't.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
I can't make any career, and you got a jokey feel like that to get me losing millions of dollars. You guys too.
This guy ain't playing.
We settle in, bang. We settle in.
Right.
That bug does bite me again, and I had to sit out for like the next 2 to 3 weeks. That I ended up coming back to play in the SIAC tournament. Came back too soon, aggravated again. Came home, didn't listen, stay on the side, played double A back home when I came home. So I ended up going back for foul baseball. They did not play foul baseball. And they decided, well, you know what? I'm a senior now. I'm going to graduate. So I'm going to do my internship. My internship in recreation, we had to get 400 and some hours, internship hours. So in no way I was going to be able to make the practice or some of the games and still do my internship. So I went and explained it to the coach. Like, listen, I have to do this to graduate, and this is what I'm going to do to graduate. He understood. And when I was finished my internship, I came back to half mid-season. Now, when I came back now, I went to the coach after I said, okay, my internship is finished, I'm ready to come back. He said, well, we'll go in Albany State tomorrow. I said, cool, I'll jump on the bus and come. He sat me down the first game, and it was a doubleheader Saturday and one game this Sunday. He sat me down for the first half of the doubleheader this Saturday. And I asked me if I'm ready to play. I said, of course I'm ready to play. I've been ready to play, you know. Runners at second and third, I up to bat. Boom, a triple off the left field fence. He looked at me. He was like, "Jeez, I'm bread, boy. You just super talented." I said, "Are you ready?"
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? And from then, I just finished up my senior year, man.
When you have it, you have it, man. Once you got it, you got it. You know.
Let me ask you real quick. Through your college journey, you ever meet up with any fellow VI players and any other teams?
Yes. Playing against Clark Atlanta University, I met up with Jamel. I think he was one of the few that I meet up with playing. I don't remember many others in the SIC conference because KLX and them, they went to junior college. So I will not meet up to them. Only Jamel I remember meeting up to. I also had, you know Mumbai, if you remember Deshaun Brooks.
Yeah, Deshaun Brooks, yep. Yeah.
Deshaun was going to junior college in Missouri, and I tell him, listen, why don't you come to Benedict with me? And him, Richard Julius, and myself was in Benedict at the same time, my senior year.
You senior year? Okay, that's good, man. All you guys put together?
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I had to tell the coach, listen, every time I come to bat, Deshaun was batting fourth, I was batting fifth. Richie was batting third.
Wow.
Richie and the guy in front would get on in front of Deshaun. And I in deck, like, man, I'm get some RBIs now. Deshaun come up, flicky wrist, home run. Shake my head.
Man, taking all your stats.
flicky wrist home run. I said, Coach, do me a favor. As a senior on this team, you put me the bat in front of that guy for me, please.
So let me ask you.
I say you call your shots.
You
Yeah.
obviously had a very good recovery year in terms of going to college. Did those major league teams that was recruiting you in high school, did they follow up with you in college, or you never get another bite?
I did never. I never. If they were, I wouldn't know because I did. I really take them on. I was just like, let's play college ball and go home.
Okay. I would have
I
thought
was,
they
I was,
probably would have probably follow up, maybe seeing how you recover, because with the medicine in the United States, injuries are very easy to really rehab. And with a talent such as yourself, anybody would have loved to have your talent in any farm system. So that's why I asked
and
that question.
it kind of was my fault too because, like I said, I got injured by my 12th grade year and didn't take the SAT serious, and I couldn't play my freshman year. So that was 2 years of me not playing ball like that.
The one thing with like major league teams and stuff like that, man. When you get like hurt, when you get injured and stuff, man, it's like they don't like to mess with players that get hot and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's it'll put a stain on your. It's kind of like put a stain on your career in a certain way. That's what'll make it kind of tough, because everybody view injuries different. They'll be like, well, we don't think he'll be able to do this anymore, etc., etc. So it'll make it tough, man. Health is so important. Health is so important, man.
And then I had opportunities where I knew that when I graduated from college, I was coming home straight to work in the field of recreation in St. John. So I was like, man, forget it. I'm coming home. You know what I mean?
Well, definitely, Virgin. I'm happy to have you because you're doing a lot of great things down there, which we will get to later. And I hope you just keep up doing what you're doing because I love your passion. I love what you do. But, I just felt the talent you had, you know. I just learned a lot from our tonight because I broke my foot in college my first year. I will tell you. He used to come and visit me. Sometimes he used to call me a little pig because I was eating so much and I couldn't walk out.
Wait, he used to call you a little pig?
Yeah, he's smiling. I couldn't walk out, Mumba.
That's so crazy, everything.
I was eating. I couldn't do anything. I had to be in a cast for 6 months to a year. But with the technology in the States, I was able to recover from my injury. And luckily, I had 4 more years. I broke my foot in the first year, and I had 4 more years, and I was able to build. So I was hoping baseball had the same type of formula because technology in terms of injury ain't like before where you can mess up your ACL and that's the end of it. Now you can mess up your ACL, you can mess up your pitching arm, they give you Tommy John surgery, all kind of crazy thing. Your career can continue. Once you're a talent, it will follow you. So that's why I asked him that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true, man.
Beanie, right?
Huh?
You got anything?
No, I'm my questions for college. Or everything else I get is after college. So if I have any other questions, what we done the college subject at?
Yeah, because I was about to come out of college with Richie and say, now you're working with Sports Park. You're doing a lot of great things in the Virgin Islands. We are under this COVID. We spoke about it before we was on live. What do you think is the next step in terms of keep developing the talent we have here? You obviously work with Southpaw as well. I know you have a very, very talented young lady. I can't remember her name on the Southpaw team, but my God, that girl is so talented. I don't know much about the sport, but I know that girl is a talent. Like, what do you think now in store for Virgin Islands in terms of softball and baseball, and you behind the helm, and where we need to go?
I mean, they just have to keep working, man. And the kid you're talking about is Chesterfield. That's your favorite name you like to call all the time.
Yeah, Chesterfield. That
Chesterfield.
girl is awesome. I'm telling you, I don't know that well. I just saw her play a couple of times, and certain players can just pop off the field. It's like any sport. Some players you will just like, God damn, they got it. And when I see that girl play, I was like, no, sir. We need to get her off of the Virgin Islands and give she an opportunity. That girl is so talented. My God, it's crazy.
She has come a very, very, very long way. Very long way. I don't know if you remember the girl I was playing shot stop in the last tournament we had for the
Late.
Coca-Cola team. Yes.
That's my cousin.
She's on her way to Morgan State
Yeah.
University.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring up my cousin. I don't want to be biased, but she's actually my cousin. Congratulations
She's
to her. I know she's after college. Hopefully the
yeah.
COVID will get she because she was very tough, very solid at shot stop, could hit the ball very hard, very fast. So I'm very proud of her. And obviously the Lake family is very proud of her as well. As Lee, Tiana is my family as well. She's gonna be a future. That's neck data. She's really tough. So we have a lot of good talent coming through the pipeline, but I gotta bring it right back to you. I didn't want to talk about my family. But
Well,
I really feel
I was
Chesterfield
telling
is really good.
Mumba before we started that my passion was always softball because, like I said, I came up in the '80s with my mom playing softball and stuff like that. Even when I was in college, when we practicing or when we don't have any games, I am to the softball practices, I am to the softball games, just watching these games. We had a seat of girls from the VI playing on that softball team actually, but they won some of the SISC championship in that division. You had Lynn Liebert, you had Lali Prince, you had Shakia Liebert, you had Shanika Bradley, you had Jenna Castro from St. Croix.
Okay,
They were
yeah.
all on that Sabah team. So I was always to the Sabah game, watching the Sabah game, and I decided when I come home, that's going to be what I deal with because everybody dealing with baseball. So we need to have somebody focusing on Sabah,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's why I
true.
came.
True.
Nice.
Um, being at college, starting back up soon, and we have this COVID-19 going on. Like two things I wanted to ask. Like being that you're a coach and you're in parks and recreation, and I'm pretty sure you see a lot of talent that should go after the next level and play. Like one of the things that I experience is not too much people like while you're playing in high school and while you're playing at that age, like not too much people that really look out for you um to go to the next level. They talk about it but don't really do nothing about it. You know what I mean? Like don't really put you in the right position or not saying that they should. Nobody's obligated to do it. But a little help could go a long way. Like what kind of role do you play in your position to help kids go after college and if you are playing roles, like what's some of the difficulties that you're going through right now, being that you ain't even sure if they're gonna have school coming up in August.
But for me, that it's very difficult right now, being that way because you can't get the coaches to come down to watch any players because, like I said, they're not sure. The only thing I could do as a coach right now is just keep working and keep trying to get videos on the different players and keep try to send them off and to different connects I have up in the States. You know what I mean? And that's my way of trying to get them to see because they think this year we have a slate of seniors this year looking to come for class of 2021, and I'm trying to get each and every one of them young ladies in college. So my job is right now is to hold individual practices with them, or get them on the field to just record them and try to send them off and see if the school's going to go you know bite on them.
Good man.
That's awesome.
I
That's
That is
awesome.
awesome, man. That's good, man.
Yeah, I always wonder like what kind of work we do put in with the kids off the field to make sure that they get to the places that they need to get. I know parents gotta be involved. The kids also got to make sure they, if somebody tell them to do something, they got to make sure they do it. Stay on top of things, be responsible, be in the places that you need to be. Counselor's office, like we mentioned, take your SATs, ACTs. Even take the ASVAB if you feel like it. Just take as much tests as you can. You know, all these things to put on your resume, because like college is like building a resume before you go, because when these
Exactly,
people open up the
exactly.
books and they look at your papers, They want to see what you have done. You know
Why
what why should we accept you?
That's true.
why the try tell, especially those that are going from 8 to 9 grade, is expressing is that from 8 to 9 grade, this is your new life. This is where it starts.
Hmm.
This is when the eyeball is on you. You know what I mean? So you just start doing what you need to do from 9th grade when it comes to schoolwork. Getting yourself together. You know what I mean? 9th grade is where it begins. Like start from there. You know?
Do you have anything for the parents then? Because obviously you did in softball and baseball. I'm in basketball. It's obviously a lack of support from the parents then in terms of just being there for your kids. I know a lot of parents, yes, you have to work and you have to provide. I feel it for you, but every once in a while, it's one of the two parents have to be there to support their kids. And one of the things we lacking in the Virgin Islands, we don't get a lot of parental support. You have a message for them in terms of how important that is for their kids in terms of playing this game?
Listen, coming up, I always had one of my parents to the bar park, and for me to just look outside and see my mother in the stands is like it's a feeling that you're getting inside. Like, okay, I gonna do good. My mother all day, I gonna be alright. I gonna do good in the field. You know, so that one support staff there for you is very very amazing to have. But parents nowadays to understand that you play a major role in your child life. Use your child biggest supporter. Use your child biggest cheerleader. You need to be there for your child.
That's right.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always say this story. You can hear the fans screaming a million times, but your mother will be in the stands, and all you will hear is your mother voice. And you don't
You will
know
hear
how
your
it
mother
happened.
voice.
But as long as you have that family member in there, that's the only voice you hearing.
I
That's
gonna
how
go back to
important that support is to a
Yeah.
child.
I could go back to when I was 12 years old. Same Arsenal game with East versus West. I come up the bat. The place loud. I hear my father outside. Watch this basic. Watch this basic. Da, 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 da. I look back and say, yeah, that's my father. Boom, basic up the middle. You know what I mean? It's very important.
It's
Yeah,
important.
Very, very, very.
Plus parents could play a major role in recruiting too, because they could come to the games and they could record the
They
games.
could record the games and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, they could
That's
edit
a
edit the tape at home. Everything, man. It's so much they could do. Like you guys saying.
that's a good point, Mumba. That is
I'm
a
a
good point.
yeah.
Up here, a lot of parents be doing that. They be recording their kids' them game. They be doing it and they be editing it. They be putting it on Instagram. They be putting it on Twitter. They'll put it
And
on
YouTube and
YouTube,
thing.
and they'll be
Yeah.
tagging all the colleges and everything, man. So it's so many different roles. Parents could play in their kids.
It make a difference. I mean,
Yeah,
look, yeah, my daughter decided to play softball. Her mom plays softball. I play basketball. She's 9. She making 10. She played for Free Will Baptist. They ain't really good in terms of the thing. They lose every game. And I didn't go to many games. Her mom used to go to most of the games. And when I actually start going to a couple of our games, and every time I show up, I used to just be in the back of the stand. She noticed every time I come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
You don't
Like
notice. Yeah.
them do know. They do look for you.
yeah,
And
Hmm.
you might say you're busy and you gotta do this and you gotta do that. To your child, they can't really understand, yes, you're providing for them and stuff like that at such a young age. All they want to know is, were you there? And when we came home, and she like, Dad, thanks for coming. And I saw you in the top of the row. I was like, wow. I was like, dude, I was trying to hide from you. I was just trying to watch you from. They see you. It's important. Like this thing is super important that you support your children, man, because when you support them, you give them enough passion now to continue, because they get that reward thinking that they're doing something right. And
Hmm.
that's what we're missing in the virtual. And the parents them now has pretty much dropped the bar. They're not supporting the kids them no more.
Not. I mean, you don't not you shouldn't just wait until you have the inter-island play to come and support your child. I mean, regular season play, the Les League plays, please just come out and support your child. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's true, man.
Support the team, not just your child. Support the team. Help
The
out.
team, period.
But
Yeah, help out.
yeah,
Yeah, help.
volunteer. I need me to bring a cooler. Like parents just really need to be involved there. And like they don't know like we plan all year to do family activity with our kids. That would feel like a family activity to your child. Trust that statement. That would feel like a you being a part of the team. Like yeah, you there for every practice, you there for every like the coaches sometimes invite the parents into the huddles and stuff like that because you helping out, you volunteering, you are part of the team, and it that's a family activity for you and your child.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly.
That's true, Pam. We have a question. I just put it up. I don't know if you guys see it, but this question is from Jasan Page. What age or grade should you start capturing footage and putting it on social media to help with recruiting?
Ninth grade.
Why ninth grade?
I think, like I said, ninth grade is your new life. Ninth grade is where your new life starts. So kindergarten through eighth grade, yeah, but your grades actually start over in ninth grade. That's where I think college really start looking at you from that grade.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Ninth grade, because that's where you're gonna be for the next 4 years. You know, they could build that whoever is recruiting you, they could build a relationship with the coach, and if they're really interested in you, they could give the coaches, some ideas as far as where they would like to see you be at, and the coaches could put you in some situations to make you more successful to satisfy that coach or scout's eye, etc. So you know but it's definitely important to use social media as a platform to try get recruited and stuff.
And let me just add this in, just shifting a little base. In terms of taping, when I came back and Coach Haywood gave me the opportunity to start coaching Complex in 2011, I started taping my players then. And because of lack of taping, a lot of players them in the VI, when they start watching themselves on tape and seeing the mistakes, because they're not used to it, they actually kind of go into a shell. So I do agree with you in terms of taping them early, because something about this generation, when you start pointing out their mistakes, they think you are ridiculing them, making fun of them. The rest of the guys them start laughing, and they kind of yield back because they don't want to look bad. But if we are start this process early and we show them, when we watching you on tape and showing you your mistakes, it's not nothing to make you feel bad. It's to show you the mistakes you're making so you can make the correction so you don't have to make the same mistakes again. We don't do a lot
Exactly.
of things in the Virgin Islands. We need to start incorporating it. The kids them need to start seeing what they're doing wrong on film, because that's obviously is the best teacher. Because in my sport, and I know it's the same in yours, Richie, when you start talking to one of these young kids and you tell them, hey, you're doing this wrong, the first thing they say, yeah, 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 I know.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah, I know, I
That's
know.
the number one thing. They always know. But they only doing that just as a way to kind of deflect you from correcting them so they can look bad in front of their peers. Because they have this small um, mentality that when you're correcting them, you dissing them, and all other people laughing at them like they're stupid or something. If we start filming these players a lot more earlier and get them used to taking these positive criticism, is going to only make them better players in all our sports.
Exactly. Exactly.
It
I totally agree.
it also make a difference when you could see the mistake that you making. When you could physically see it, then it connects a different way in your mental. Like, wow, man, that was real crazy looking for real. Like you start wondering why you did that, and then you keep that in the back of your head and stand you in that situation.
That's true.
I agree.
It's fact.
Totally agree.
I have shown some players on tape. You thought you were sprinting, running back on defense. Look at you. They pretty much walking pang. When they see it, they so embarrassed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they don't know it because they don't see it. So when you tell them, they get offensive and start saying, not me, but what about he? But when you show them on tape, this is how you actually look running back on defense. You,
Like how
either
like
you
like
ain't
how the
clear
tape
or you
show you
not.
jumping up and down in Panama when we win the
Well, yeah,
championship.
you were jumping
When we
up
win,
too. And you were saying you were jumping up until we get the tape. I think Coffee, what fun. He said he didn't jump up. Look at him.
Tape Tape is tape
Like,
is tape is
don't
tape is tape is very very important because even the professionals they watch tape. You know,
They watch tape.
all
that's
sports they
right.
watch tape. They study it. They don't stop. And these is people. These is athletes that's millionaires. They got commercial. They got shoes, everything, and they're still putting in that work inside the film room. So, you guys are 100% correct. I think it's important. You know what's important too, like what you said, Tegan, about how the kids, they don't want to get embarrassed and stuff like that. Sometimes maybe it's important where you kind of invite some, athletes to come and talk about the importance of film because players listening to the coach is just like, yeah, that's coach, but hearing it from different former athletes talk about the importance of film and not being embarrassed and you shouldn't be ashamed in front of your teammates. It's preparing you for the future, etc. Maybe they might buy in that way, maybe not, but you know,
I believe that. That's facts.
yeah,
I believe it too.
yeah, because if you have that mentality, you will never grow, But if you could hear it from so many different voices and people from different sports, and they touch on it, because they just gotta understand it's not now, it's the future, and that's just my little
And
idea.
How how did you get into coaching, Richie?
Well, I came home, graduated from college, and came home in 2005, and I was working at Sports Park Recreation in St. John. And I noticed that there was, I went into the school, my old PE teacher, Miss Richmond, she was there. I said, Miss Richmond, I think this school need to have a softball team, pretty much. And she was like, "Hey, Richard, if you could get it, you go with it. You run with it." And from then, I just take off with it, man. The first year, I got a bunch of girls. I'd never played a game before. Of course, we lose all our games. And next year we went 2-4. Then the following year we was in the JV championship. So, most of the girls started in sixth grade and progressed with me all the way up. And that was in 2005 is when I first started. And like I
And
say,
you
I
said,
came home. I came home
uh
just for softball.
wow.
Oh,
And
let
you
me ask
said
you,
you
Richie.
pretty much when you started, you pick up girls that have first started out playing baseball, and by the third year, you win a championship.
Win a championship in the JV division, yes.
Wow, that says
impressive,
a
man.
lot because you can develop them girls where they could be on the level, a championship level.
Exactly. And for me, I kind of got, like saying, when it got to me, ain't no reason why you should be teaching a sixth or seventh grade or seventh grader how to throw and catch a ball. So this thing need to start from elementary. So I think at the time the president of the IAA in St. Thomas was Mark Daniels. And I went to Mark and I said, Mark, listen, we need to do something about softball. We need to start at elementary level. And Mark was like, well, we could do it, but we will need help. I said, you're going to need help? No problem. I called Vince Roberts, who was the assistant director at the time. I said, listen, we want to start softball at elementary level. Mark said, you need help. We're going to help him. Vince said, man, let's go with it. You know what I mean? So actually started it on elementary level, I think back in 2009.
And are still going?
Still going up to today.
Man, you're
That's
hitting
what's up,
all of
man.
my question because that's the question
Amazing.
I was going to ask you. Because obviously we there on the mainland right now, mom and them there in the States. So they seeing higher level coaching. When you get, and this is for both basketball and baseball, like you said, because you just pretty much answered my question. You seeing all of these different coaches coaching at such a low level, and the fundamental is nowhere to be found. That when these players actually come to your system and you have to teach them basic fundamental, it really hurt your heart. It's nowhere. I'm just gonna put it in basketball terms, just like you say in baseball. There's nowhere I should be in high school teaching guys how to lay up on. That hurt my heart. Laying up on your left hand and right hand, that's bad. Those things should have already been taught from elementary and junior high, and it's not being taught. So the question I had for you, Richie, when you see it now in terms of softball, what do you think needs to be done in terms of the totality of the whole Virgin Islands? Because at the end of the day, I know the stipend plays a big thing and some people needs it and blah, blah, but at the end of the day, we can't put a child future in terms of their ability to get to the next level for your stipend. It should not happen like that. It should be and the passion that you want to see that child get to the next level based on your love and your experience and everything you've been through. You give it to that child, and that child take it and run with it. After that, you can't do nothing with it. But that should be the focus. We have too many kids coming through these sports that are not fundamentally sound, and it's poor. It's really, really poor.
Very, very poor. Like I said, I hate when I see a coach just turn the children loose on the field and I just go. You ain't telling them what the position. You ain't telling them what to run the bases. You ain't. It's like, yo, what are you doing? Are you? If you're here for the money, you no benefit to the children.
Exactly.
None whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like, break it down, and especially at elementary level, break it down to them. When I first start with you at elementary level, take off your glove. You can learn to catch this ball without your glove. You can learn to feel this ball without your glove. We're gonna do that for like the first couple weeks because you got if the more you do it, the better you get at it, and then you're gonna point your glove and start feeling the ball. You know what I mean? So it's like you just give him a bat and a ball and tell him go ahead, just play. That's garbage.
Got to focus on fundamentals, man. Got to focus on the
Exactly.
fundamentals. It's most
Even-
important.
Even when I went into coaching flag football in St. John, it's like, okay, we gonna learn this game and we gonna learn this game proper. 2009 again, I walking up the road from one job to the next, and I see a bunch of my little people, playing football in the field during lunchtime for school. I say, you know what? I walk in, I call them together. I said, listen, I go teach you how to play flag football, and we're gonna be a good flag football team in the league next year. I went to Miss Richmond again. Miss Richmond was like, Richie, go with it. That first year we played in flag football league, we was like a surprise to everybody. We came out and we won the championship that year. Came to St. Croix and won a third championship that year. You know, so that's just from teaching the basic fundamentals of the game.
Hey, good coaches
what it
make
is, man.
better players. That's just facts. And
And
like you say, you met a Mark. I know Mark very well. He's very passionate. I was actually the president of Interscholastic and St. Croix for 2 years. And I hold a staff meeting, and I hope some of the board members, they ain't mind I saying this. I said, look, if we want to change all the sports in the VI, let we suspend these stipend for 2 years, weed out the people that who don't really want to do this for the love of their heart, and let them go because they're going to have to do it for free. And then let we attract the people who really want to do it and reward them. Because the stipend in general, it's not a lot of money that you get. We all know, Richie, we've been in the States, more of them there in the States. Coaches who coach these teams are making no less than $30,000 a year. This
That's
is their
all.
job. So when we bring it now to St. Croix and St. Thomas and you're making 3,000, you think that's something great. It's mockery. You don't understand what this sport is all about. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the financial. You know what I'm saying? But for you now to grab onto something so small and you compare it to the future of a child, that's wrong in my opinion. The youths of the future, them man should be forced. And if we're gonna change that, we have to weed out the ones them who don't want to do this for free. One of the biggest thing I know, and I keep saying this on St. Croix, I run summer league from 2005, and this is the first year we run summer league pan. I always have men summer league. You know who have the most basketball teams in the on St. Croix? I don't know about St. Thomas. The women's league from elementary all the way up. But in the summer, none of them coaches who coach in high school coach a women league. How is that possible? They don't care about the kids, then. They don't.
It
You
don't at
telling me
all.
you coaching all of these young girls all the way through high school, and then when high school finish, and all the interscholastic finish, you stop coaching them? You don't care. The only man who put themselves is Bow. We know it's Bow. You know what I'm saying? And Spud right now, Spud doing his thing. That's it. The rest coaches them do not coach no woman team. That's a shame. You don't care nothing about them girls you coaching. And
I
that's sad. And I go keep preaching
trust.
it. I don't people mad with me. That's sad. If you care about them youths, once the season finish, you should be on that line to keep developing them young ladies. And it's sad.
I
It's
agree.
sad.
I agree. That's facts.
you
It's
know what
crazy.
stood out to me is with your flag football story is that just started off or you just seeing them out there playing for fun. You know, you just
Yeah,
walking by and you just saw them seeing out there playing for fun, and it says a lot about you. And you know, it gave you just seeing them just gave you that passion to want to do more, and that is just to come natural, not not a offer of a sniping. That ain't even came in your head. You just saw them playing. You know what? These guys look like they got something. They look interested. It looks like this is fun to them. I know it's gonna be fun for me coaching them, and you just boom went from here, and that says a lot about you.
thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah, man.
And
It's true.
one of
That's
the
a big.
goals I always had when I came home was to have a girls travel softball team. You know, and we was able to accomplish that goal in 2015, where we had the first Virgin Islands All-Star Junior League team to go to Puerto Rico to play against in a Latin American tournament. And from then we came up with the Junior Stars, Junior Stars Softball organization. And these girls went to as far as 2018, going to Pennsylvania to play up in the cold weather, you know. And it's just a humbling experience for me, man, just to see how where these girls were to where they are now. It's like they put in the work and then they were probably supposed to be, right, man. They only have up to go. You know what I mean?
That's good, man.
Yeah, you got brought. You know, you was around because you got brought up into the sport, and you know what coaching is about. You know the passion. You know what it takes. You've been around the coaches. You know your mom and your dad played. You know the sacrifices it takes. To be the right coach. And you have all the attributes, man. You have all the attributes. Which the kids them that you deal with, they're in good hands, man. They're in good hands. The thing I want to say up here, the coaches them don't get paid. Is like what Richie doing. It's like if you love the game, you just have that itch to pass on that information, and you just want to see kids do good, and you want them to achieve the dream. It's something we touched about early up in the episode. It's just the passion, man. It's the love and the passion for the game. If you love the game and you have passion for the game, and you're willing to do it, you would do it for free. Because it's all about
Pretty
putting a
much.
smiles. It's all about making kids happy, man. It's just fulfilling their dreams and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, a kid can't teach themselves. A kid can't teach yourself the fundamentals and stuff. So, you know, hopefully get more.
I mean, like keep telling them I've been there, I done that, I've been to college. You know what I mean? My job, my goal is not to get you where I've been. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And even further, you know. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you. You know. And that's why I put my all into it. At the end of the day, for to see how them girls, Tegan will tell you. Tegan has saw them play back in March. And a couple years ago, them girls weren't playing like that, Tegan.
Wow.
You know. But we put in the work. Me and my team. I mean, I have a good team behind me. I have a good team with me. Both on St. Kincory and St. Thomas, we have a good team of people dealing with these girls. You know what I mean?
yeah. What age? I don't know if you touched on. I don't know if you touched on this, but what age group do you coach?
I started coaching junior high school level till now. We have the 13 on our team, which the youngest player on the team is I think Leah is 11 years old now. So from 11 and older.
Okay. What is that? You have other coaches you coach with too?
Yes. I'm glad you asked that question. Special big up to my team. We got Steven, we got Abbott, you have Shaq for Life Wire Sports. We have Kishma, you have Marlon Richardson, my left hand man. I call Marlon my left hand, and I call Bolo my right hand. And then you have Koi. Without them guys, without them, man, this thing won't be what I was. You know what I mean? That's a team I have behind me. You know. And we have the board members. We have Noreen and Tahira who grab this thing and keep pushing it up. Man.
It's
That's
awesome,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. If you want to give a shout out to some of your players, you could go ahead and do it, man. If it's too much, you don't have to do it.
Just
So
give a shout out to my whole Junior Stars members, man. Too much name to mention.
yeah,
Too much name.
big up to your
Big up
teams,
to
man.
all,
Big up.
big up to the parents that support the organization, support the movement, I love my parents, but my parents are very supportive. Whenever we say we're going to do something, parents are there for this organization, and they jump in and they move forward and do it, man. I love my parents.
It's awesome,
Awesome,
man.
man. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I got a question. How was the atmosphere of softball and if you the coach baseball or if there is baseball in the island before COVID? Like, how was the atmosphere?
The atmosphere, the games were great. I mean, the park and a given in St. Thomas, I could talk with St. Thomas, and a given day when you're playing, the park was full of people. You know, baseball and like I said, softball in the first round was very much on a rise. Very much, and still going to be on a rise after this COVID thing. Cause we ain't stopping. We're gonna keep going
Yep.
with these young ladies. You know what I mean? This thing is where it needs to be. Like I said, and with the team that I have, man, we're gonna keep pushing. We want nothing but the best for these young ladies, and we're gonna keep pushing.
That's facts, bang. I can echo that. When them guys come over to play St. Croix, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't belong on the Mike Ritchie. What happened was the scoreboard was down, right? And I noticed everybody watching the game, but nobody know the score. So one day I was like, dude, I don't know how to mic softball game too, right? I tell them I hook up the speaker, let me just go on this mic, let me nice this thing up. The rest is history, P.
The
Now
life
the
of the
ball,
party. The life of the
That's
party.
funny. That's
yeah,
hilarious.
Tell you.
it is what it is.
You gotta do. You
Man,
gotta do. You gotta do.
Hey,
You gotta do.
Fox to be awesome, man.
I
When
really
them
want to
guys
say,
come
I
over.
really want to say, big up to Lorena and the Live Wire Sports crew, man. What Lorena is doing for these young athletes, man, what they're doing is wonderful. You
Yes,
know, very very much wonderful. I appreciate what they're doing. I love what they're doing. Keep doing what you are doing.
Facts. Yeah.
Keep doing what you are doing.
Facts. They go to live wire sports. Definitely.
Hey,
Big them up.
hey, Tegan, you gotta get your master. I got my master.
Wait, Reina ain't sent me. No, no, no. I am very jealous. Like I got set up with you. You know what I'm saying? I been checking like why I still got the most views in terms of interviews over there. I want to know again now.
Yeah, man, but something I didn't touch on. In 2009, I actually coached the Virgin Women National Softball team down in Venezuela.
Oh wow.
We had Sherry. Sherry was actually on our team. And Lynn was on our team as well. Lynn Leiber. That was a wonderful experience for me down in Venezuela, man. And we did it again in 2013 in Puerto Rico. We weren't able to get done in 2017 because of the change in the federation, but hopefully in 2021 we could do it again.
That's good, man.
Yeah, man. That's good.
You
I
you
have. Oh,
how much national team experience you have as a player?
Junior nationals and nationals. This year, that year, I played softball nationals and baseball nationals actually. Um, my last national experience was in 2010. We went to San Andres, Colombia with softball. That was the softball federation that year. But I've been there many years, many years.
That's good.
we have a question here from Jason. It sounds like your squad is successful. How many hours per week do you dedicate to setting those girls up for success?
So the big team, the 18 under team, normally practices at Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, sometimes on Saturdays, which is the 18 and under girls. And the 13 and under girls practices on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That's about 2.5 hours to 3 hours a day. We practice that. Only day
So,
after Sunday.
I got a question. So after the COVID, I know you're dealing with the girls softball. Taki, have you ever discussed with anyone maybe trying to host a softball tournament in St. Thomas?
That's funny. Yes, I have definitely have. I contacted the two district administrators for sport and recreation, Jamila in St. Croix and Cork in St. Thomas. And I tell them, listen, as this COVID thing done, I even tell them a proposal and all. When they get a young team and an old team from St. Croix, like, when I mean old, I mean 18 and over, 19
Yeah.
and over. 19 and over and put a 4-team tournament together where you have the two 19 and under teams from St. Thomas and St. Croix play against the 19 over team from St. So I have 4 teams in the tournament and then bring the 13 teams over. I'm shooting for Columbus Day weekend if the COVID clears up by then, right here in St. Thomas. That's what I'm shooting for.
Good.
But I mean, date subject to change depends on what they say about the COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice.
I think that's the biggest problem now in terms of trying to develop anything right now. Even with you guys in the States, Mumba, it's so much uncertainty. We're planning, but we can't really put nothing in certainty because it's just changing every day. It's just changing. So it's nothing solid. We can just keep planning, and hopefully this COVID will just go away for a little bit so we can get back to some type of normalcy because the kids them
I
want
tell
it.
you,
I can tell
VA
you,
baby ready.
it's great. I'm driving around the VI every night just checking some of these ballparks. These young dudes outside just jamming, son. It's like them man ain't believe in no social distancing, son. Them man out there getting it on. So it's kind of crazy. I don't really know what to say. You know, we'll just see.
The VA better get ready because as this COVID thing done, recreation going on a move.
Oh yeah.
Going on a move.
What about our boss? A lot of people don't really know that this man is so into sports. We had him on already. You have any words to say about him in terms of why?
He is so supportive of everything that I doing when it comes to the Saba movement. All I have to do is say, hey, Commissioner, I got this tournament I want to do. What are you gonna do? He said, listen, just give me the details. I don't have whatever you need. And that's all I have to do every time. With Cork Thomas, with Vince Roberts, that's all I have to do is put something out there. And once, just get to me. And I'm going to work and get it done for you. That's how it is when it comes to this Saba thing and the sports thing.
And he tells me the same thing on St. Croix. So that's one of the things I wanted to put out. People don't understand that this is probably one of the better teams we had in terms of sports-oriented minds in the Virgin Islands. And like you say, pre-COVID, we was really on a rise. I mean, we was really rocking this thing. So hopefully, sports back, we can get back to really developing this sport the right way.
I hoping so, man. It'll be a wonderful thing.
You
Yeah,
know,
baby.
one thing listening to you is really impressive. It really impressed me. It because everything that you say is you go to somebody, you ask a question, but it seems like you always go with a good proposal where they believe in you, and you made your resume where and build the confidence in these people to have building these people to have confidence in you. Like how hard or how difficult? Because it seems like you to put everything together, come up with the idea, you reach out to the people and you give them your proposal, your ideas, and they just run with it. Like how what's the difficulties in coming up with a proposal, and how do you put stuff like that together? Like for anybody who out there want to get into coaching or even promoting or anything, just how do you put those ideas together and get it done?
It comes quite easy with me because, like I said, I've been doing this thing a long time. And it's not just doing it with softball or baseball. Like I said, I work in St. John, so I was one of the only recreation leaders in St. John at the time when we have Shikima at the time was my supervisor. And when I said, okay, let's do a basketball league, I have to sit on a table, I could get these 4 teams together, blase. We could run with it, you know what I mean? Putting that tournament together for me, like I say, it's just you have to just know what you want to do. Like Vince will tell me every time his phone, oh God, what you got for me now? He was like, your mind run 110 miles per hour. What you got for me now? You know what I mean? And I presented with this, presenting with that flag football league. I presented with kickball. I presented with slow pitch ball. I presented with anything, and it's and just run with it. You know what I mean? It's just to have the people you're backing to get it done with you. You know what I mean?
All right.
That's awesome.
Well, that's good, man, because it seems like you have built a reputation and people know they will count on you, and we definitely need more people like you in place because like, we had that when the 3 of us, well, 4 of us, we had that when we were younger, And now it seems we're struggling to have those programs for our kids to have that outlets, and use only one person. You know what I'm
And it's only
saying?
one
So
person.
right, use only one person. So you coming up with the ideas, but you still need, if you have enough to have like 16, now you have to find at least two people per team to coach or more. And I know probably in baseball it's more coaching than it is in basketball, but you still gotta find people that's interested in taking up these teams that you coming up with. And I know you have to be, I don't know your means of reaching out to people, if it's by phone or you go into the neighborhoods and like, hey, I trying to start this league, and I know anybody that would be interested in bringing a team from this neighborhood, and I don't know how you to do it, but it just says a lot about you to put these things together and to get people involved, you know.
Like for example, we're doing the little league, junior league, senior league softball. Like I said, I have a good team with me. We have the same coaches they might just call. We sit on, especially with Steven and Bolo. We sit on together in a room. It's like, okay, how many children from this team played with Durkin? How many played with high school? How many played with Conference? How many played with BCP? Let's try go to the schools and get all these girls out to the schools on this field. Let's call a clinic these couple of days. And once you do a clinic Monday, you might get 5, 6, 7 people. But when you turn and do the same thing again Wednesday, you blink, you have like 40, 50 people out there. It feels like, wait, whoa, where these people come from? So the word is actually getting out there. You know what I mean? Like the best thing now is group chats. You know, they were going this group chat and point out, man, we have a thing. And I go on Facebook, I point out, we point out in the newspaper. And like I said before, you blink, you have a heap of children out there where you could
awesome.
You're doing the clinics for these young ladies. And after these clinics, you can actually start a league.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
What's up?
That's great.
I got a question for you. I got two questions, but I'm gonna ask this one first, and then I'll give somebody else a chance to ask the question. What was it a big adjustment being a player and then going into coaching, or it came natural and it came easy for you?
At first, it was very hard because you know the type of player that you were, so you're trying to get them there, and if they get credit for, but you have to sit back and say, okay, this is me and that is them. Let's start from the very beginning. So then when I got that mentality, everything just started getting easy because I was like, I can't teach them like how I used to play. I have to teach them from the very beginning, you know what I mean, and move forward with it. So it came easy after a while.
That's a great answer.
Yes.
How is your coaching style? Like, or do you have a format? How is your format?
Very.
Thanks, Steve. My question, man.
Well, you did say you're gonna give somebody else a chance to ask the second question. I just read your mind. That's all.
Like you always did. You always stealing the ball, stealing defense. Nice.
I like to go off the top. I don't. I depends on who I'm playing. Depends on what team we're playing on that day. I come with a game plan set for what we're doing. Like I sit down with the coaches, that's the coaches. Okay, we playing this team. So and so is this kind of player. They're gonna pitch this person, so we're gonna pitch this person to counter them. And strategic, at a coach strategy. Period.
Nice, man. Very nice. That's awesome. It's awesome. Do you have a lot of coaches have principles? They go by as coaches. Do you have any set principles that you preach to the kids that you go by?
Just play the game and have fun. For me, it's like the minute you go out on the field and you start getting down on yourself, you ain't gonna be having fun. If you're having fun, you ain't playing the game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
If you're having fun, you're playing the game. You're not losing no money from this. You're not getting paid to do this. You're doing this for fun. So if you're there with crying and frustrated, you're not having fun. And if you're having fun, the game gonna come good to you at all. So just play the game, have fun.
I agree.
Well said, man. Why? Yes, I agree too.
One of the biggest thing I noticed, because I'm a coach, you're a coach, and this is what I preach to my complex players, me and Coach Haywood. no matter if we go to St. Thomas, St. Croix, whatever, we as coaches, yes, it's our thing to deal with referee and umpire and stuff like that. But we don't allow our players them to get into that dialogue. I hate to hear players come back and say St. Thomas cheat me, St. Croix cheat me. To me,
Pet
it's one of
peeve.
the most biggest cop-out excuses in terms of creating an excuse for failure. That is foolishness to me. So when my players then come back to me and tell me, "Oh, you didn't see that St. Thomas referee cheating me," I said, "Well, yeah, but you missed 6 layups.
Exactly.
You ain't make your 7 free throw, and we lost by 3.
Exactly.
If you only make half of that with a win." So I always put ownership on the player to let them understand you are always in control of what you can control. Stop worrying about the things you can't.
Yeah, take
That's my
ownership.
job. I will write the referee. At the end of the day, he made his decision. We need to put ownership on you. Because when a coach is coming on to watch you play, he's not going to ask you whether or not you win the game. He's going to ask you, how did you play? Would you rather sit on the
That's
bench, not doing anything, and win the game and think you are all great? Or would you rather go out there, going out, fighting adversity, overcoming adversity, showing the scouts them that, you know what, I fight through it, I didn't quit, I didn't give up? A coach is going to respect you more. So many times our players then have this mentality that, yeah, it's okay to say the umpire cheat we, the referee cheat we. What was your stance on that? Because for me, I hate that. I don't. My players them cannot come around me saying that foolishness.
I hate that. Well, I don't like that at all. Lead umpires to me. If you ain't me first one umpires, you should never be first one umpires. You don't even need to be first one umpires at all. Play the game. You
That,
make every player that come to you, you're not worried about the umpire. Simple as that. And
It's true.
we need a
take it.
collective mentality at that, because I think we are getting away so much in terms of winning. We are kind of equalizing winning in the Virgin Islands in terms of getting better, and it is the dumbest fallacy I've ever seen as a professional player. Your child is not getting better because they won a game. How would your child get better because your team won and he sit on the bench for all the whole game? He did not get better one bit. When a coach is coming to recruit your child, how did your child perform in the game? That's the only thing that matters. It has nothing to do with the final score. Yes, we are competitors. We want to win as coaches. Yes, but at the end of the day, the main focus is on how your child play. Were you disciplined? Were you respectful? Did you show up the ref? Did you show up the umpire? Did you listen to your coaches? This is what coaches look at when they're recruiting you, because if you cannot respect them, how the hell are you going to respect me? And our Virgin Island players at all sport needs to understand that. Forget the final score. That will not get you to the next level. It will not.
I like I like to
It's
tell
true.
them that this game baseball is made for you to fail. It is made for you to fail. You could go up, you could bat 3 for 10 in a tournament and be the number one hitter in the league. And people don't understand 3 for 10 is a 30% in school.
Yeah.
But it's at 300 in baseball, so bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? This thing is made for you to fail. It's what you do with it. You could make, tell me, I am making 38 years old. Up to now, I still don't make errors in the ball game. Up to now, I still don't make it. You know what I mean? But you don't see me pouting and cussing and blah, blah, blah. I don't laugh it off and move on to the next play. Because that one they don't get. Turn the page. Short term memory. Forget what just happened. Move on.
That's
You know what I
facts.
mean?
That
That's
is
facts.
facts, man. And in baseball, that is so important, man. Especially in baseball, it's so
Our
important.
sports combat.
No,
Things are not
Yeah.
going your way. Me and Pang, we played against Allen Iverson then. You couldn't touch these guys' jersey. Are we gonna be bitching to the referee them and tell them, hey, you calling jokey call? No, we have to adapt. It is what it is. Those guys,
Right.
they have those guys on a pedestal. We just have to find a way to play. We can't be bitching and complaining. We have to control what we can control. And that's the
Right.
end of
Gotta
the
make
day.
adjustment.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But when I say
Life
when I
is fair and this ain't fair and it ain't fair. Look, in the game of sport, nothing fair. You gotta go out
Nothing
there.
is fair.
What I was gonna say is that in our sport, what I say, especially in baseball, is that baseball is like the only, and I don't really want to get into it too much, but like baseball is a very different sport, man. It's like is you don't have that much opportunities. Like for instance, you will go to bat, you might have one at bat the whole game, or maybe two or three or four. As a pitcher, you just don't know. And the difference between baseball and a lot of the other sports is that you have so many opportunities to make up. Like in basketball, you have many opportunities to make up.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people don't understand, like, baseball is different. You might have one at bat, and you might miss a sign, or you might miss a bunt, and you might not, the coach might take you out. You might not even go back in the rest of the game. And you have 9 innings. You have 9 innings to sit, or 6 innings or 7 innings. So that's why I say especially in baseball, but it goes for all sports. It does go for all sports, but
It does, because
I mean, you just basically echo what both of we said. You have to control and focus on the things you can control and stop worrying about the things that you can't. You can't control it. Focus on your task and your craft and try to do the best that you can do, and everything else will take care of itself. That should be the
it's true.
There's two parts of the game, offense and defense. You could be struggling in the field, you could make 3 errors on the field, but you could hit a walk-off home and win the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, man. It's true. That's why it's so important, to have a good coach to keep the players them, level-headed and keep them on the right track.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
one
what
one of my biggest thing in terms of coaching, I had to let my players them know. Look, sure, we went complex. We know we have one of the most hot-head coaches in the world in Coach Haywood. You know he will definitely be on the referee them thing. But one of the things that Haywood do that a lot of people don't know, we ain't going to hear and say no referee cheating. Okay, Haywood gonna let we know you play like crap, and he gonna call you out. And that's the beauty about Haywood. A lot of people don't know. Yes, he will be on the referee them. He will fight for us. But once we get back to practice, Haywood, they'll say how many rebounds we missed, how many offensive rebounds we didn't think. Sherry did it, calculated how many free throws we missed. And once we put that towards the team and we say, well, you lost again by 5, but look how much things that we didn't do well. Now it's time for we to get to the gym and start correcting these things. And that's the beauty about sports. Control the things that you can control and stop looking for excuses. That's foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true.
Most
That's facts.
most
That's facts.
most coaches who coach like that, regardless of the sport, they'll be the ones that you see the success stories for their players, because you're teaching them the right way, man, and it's yeah, winning is good, but when the season is done and the record is all in the books and everything, it's like what are your players taking away from the game? What are your players taking away from the year? That we win, or they going with things that they learn. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
Like to the next level, and that's what's important. What when they leave your program, what kind of person they're going to be? What kind of man or woman they're about to going to be? What are they taking with them? Where they could say, well, I get this from such and such, such and such, and then people, when they get out there into the world, people will know they come from a good program, because these are the things that they came into my program with, whether it's work, whether it's moving on to more sports, and further their career in sports. It's just what they're taking when they leave your program, and that's where the focus needs to be. What can I teach this kid that when it's all said and done, that he taking something valuable with him? And it
Exactly.
don't have to be with sports. It could be whatever the structure, you discipline, responsibility, taking ownership, what these are the things that you hope a kid would take with them when they move on from your program.
Exactly.
It's true.
That's facts, fun. That is lovely. I'm gonna tell a small story, and not to take away from you, Richie. After this, you can jump in and go for another 4 hours. It matter. But I really want to. I don't know why, because it kind of hit my heart. And may you rest in peace, because he was one of my special players that I really had at a high thing, and his name was Stefford Adams. And when he left St. Croix. He played for Complex. A lot of people didn't know he played for Complex before he went to Idorkin. He actually went to Missouri. He was a top 5 player in Missouri. And after everything that he learned in terms of, he was already a good player, but I was very harsh on him. He didn't come to practice on time. I won't play him. Most of the tournament to St. Thomas, he never even came because he never wanted to come to practice because he was at Woodson. He was the best player in the island, and he believed that he could just show up to Complex and come when it's time to go on the trip and play. And me and Hayward used to be like, dude, we know you're good, but we can't give you no kind of thing to let you think you're bigger than the team. And we used to leave him home. So that the fact that Zaba played with us a whole year without traveling because we had to kind of discipline him in the right way in terms of remolding his mentality. You know what I'm saying? And luckily for him, he finally got it. I called Coach Jareem in the States and I said, Coach, this dude is one of the best players I've seen in the Virgin Islands, period. And he went to Missouri. He was one of the top 5 players. He had to come back because of family things. And he transferred over to St. Thomas and played for Idorken. And the coaches for Idorken, like, dude, we are so happy you sent us this guy. He's one of the best players we ever had. When this guy went to Tennessee State, not a week passed on that this guy didn't call me and thank me. Everything that I was disciplining him about in terms of showing up early, preparing yourself. I'm pretty sure at Complex he probably hated me, but once he got to Tennessee State, he called me so much thanking me because he realized where I was trying to take him. I did not care about beating the Dorican and Charlotte Amali and Central. I only care about making you a better player. And if I have to sit you down and discipline you so you can get to your brains, that is what I was willing to do. Winning ain't everything for us. And obviously, rest in peace, Zab. It still hurt me to this day. But he was one of the best players who came out of the Virgin Islands, and he was on the rise. He was on the rise, but he had to learn it the hard way, man. And that's what more coaches need to do in the VI. Forget about this winning thing. If
Right.
their game is not gonna transcend beyond high school to the next level, we failing them.
Right.
Do not
That's
do not
exactly.
condone rudeness. Do not condone being late. Do not condone being talking back to because once they leave us and go to the States, they're gonna be on the first thing home smoking because those coaches up there is not putting up with that.
Right.
And that's the mentality all that we must have.
It's true. Well said. Recipes, Zach. Recipes, Zach. Well said, Tegan. Well said. Question, Richie. What what was the biggest lesson you learned playing college? Playing college baseball.
Stay humble. Stay humble. At any time, this thing could just be gone. I mean, you know what I mean, and you gotta understand that playing up here is a privilege that a lot of people around don't have, especially playing in college, and it's just a humbling experience, you know.
You have any message for kids who probably watching and leaving this year to go after college? Like, have any message for them besides being humble?
Remember that you're a student athlete. Remember, you're not going to school just to play ball. You're going to school to do the work as well. You know what I mean? It's very important that you take your schoolwork serious. Ain't because you're just still an athlete. That scholarship could be gone in a minute. Ain't because you're still an athlete. Schoolwork is very important as well. I always let everybody know that. Student athlete. You're a student first, athlete after.
That's right.
Right.
It's true.
And it's very important that you focus on what you came here to do. You came here to play ball and do schoolwork. Which schoolwork comes first? You know what I mean?
That's true.
Man.
Tegan, go ahead with your
My favorite questions.
yeah.
All right, so Richie, as we winding down, I always like to get your top five best players in your lifetime and St. Thomas. If you have one on top 5 on St. Croix, shoot it. Your top 5 Major League Baseball players of all times. In your eyes, your opinion, who you model your game after. Let me know. Shoot. Start with St. Thomas first.
My top 5 in St. Thomas, as far as coming up and watching the game and playing against me or just watching the game, period.
You,
Hey,
whatever you want.
they could even
Okay, good.
you could even be it could even be somebody that's younger than you.
My top 5 would be my father, of course, Elridge Blake, Elrod Hendricks Jr., Calvin Pickering, and people don't, but I Javon Rapsat. A lot of people don't know about Puny. But you probably know about Puny. He's a guy, he's a Black Diamond Rapsat now. But Puny, man, to me
Name
was an
sound familiar.
all-around player. He was an
Let me,
all-around player to me, man.
let me ask you, Richie. Let me stop you. Can you, because me and Pang is really green in terms of baseball history. Could
Uh-huh.
you give a little bit, just a little small synopsis of all the players them you just called, what era they
And
playing, what position, and what they were good at, so we can have an idea? Because we honestly, all the players you just called, me ain't know not one of them. Pang
Elrod
ain't know.
Hendricks Jr. That is the son of the famous Elrod Hendricks from the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
He was actually drafted by the Boston Red Sox. In his time, he's much way older than me. I think Slugger made 50 this year or something like that. One of them, I think so. The next name I called was Elridge Blake. Blakey. He was, man, phenomenal. He's an older guy too. I think he's up in his 70s with my father. He could have hit about any place on the field in Laraba Stadium. And left hander hitting the ball and the hospital and that kind of thing. Coming down, Calvin Pickering.
Yeah.
That's one of the guys that I make my hitting style off of as well. Pico. And Puny played Little League with me. And Puny he chose right hand but bat left hand. And Puny was a pure player. Could play any place on the field. No matter who you put him on. When he had him on pitching, call ball like can't done. And I was like, I'm glad I'm in your team. Me, I ain't want to play against you at that. And that was my top 5. And my father, of course, in Joseph Clendinen Sr., you know, my whole logic of hitting the ball any place on the field came from him.
Nice.
He showed me how to position, like if you want to hit the ball left field, how to do it. Hit the ball straight up. Depends on where the defense playing you. You got to hit the ball away from the defense. And that came from my father. And we say professional now?
No, St. Croix.
St. Croix. Dido Simmons. Makil Rogers. Terry Byron.
Nice.
Believe it or not, I like the game that Stevie Simmons Jr. has.
Okay. Yeah.
I like Steve Simmons Jr. game. His game is a good game.
Could you tell me why you like most of the players them you call? Because we know, because we didn't St. Croix, so we do have an idea who you're talking about. But like I always, give a little small synopsis why you like Dido, why you like Makil.
I never really watched Dido play, but the stories about Dido. I think I see him play once or twice, but Dido was from left or right. He could have hit a ball any place.
Yeah. It's
Dido
true.
power. He could hit with power. He could basically dead. Dido was a great hitter. You know what I mean? And he reminded me so much of myself because I was too a great hitter. I wasn't a home run hitter like Dido, but I was a great hitter myself. I watched Makil play. Makil was an all-around player. No matter what you do with Makil, you ain't too much people to me now could have played ball with Makil back then. You know what I mean? The couple games I watched Terry Byron play, same our partner Mumbasaro were pitching against Terry up in the stadium.
Yeah.
Terry hit a ball off a Saro that lead the ballpark and still rise beyond Jayadi. I think the ball still traveling on now. That's how
That's
far the
crazy.
ball went. Yeah.
Terry Byron, son.
Terry Byron, that boy
Yes.
was legit. Steve Simmons is to me is a complete package. For the younger generation. You know, Steve, you play any place on the field, any place you put him, he could play. He could catch, he could play third base, shortstop, first base, even play in the outfield. Stevie just got that talent to me,
Natural.
natural talent. Um, I- did I call a fifth person?
No, you get one
Nah,
more.
No.
I got one more. I got to think on that. I really got to think on that.
You could throw me there. You could throw me in there if you want to know.
Just like
I don't-
Kumba was on the show when Gene say I did hit my 2 home run in Wims. So I need
Ah,
man. I want the fifth player. I gotta go with Jose Bogos because I play against him. You know that's a name that always jump out at me when it comes to 11, 12 All-Star because his name just jumps right out at me.
yeah,
The talent that guy had when I was 11 and 12 years old, the same age as me. You know what I mean?
he could play, man. He was good.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
good. So,
Okay.
who
Major
was your
League.
favorite? Who? Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. I got a question to ask.
Your top 5 major leagues players of all time.
Tony Gwynn, one of the best hitters of all time.
Legend.
Terry Pendleton.
Atlanta
No,
Braves.
no, a lot of people gonna say
Yeah,
bias
Tegan. Yeah.
because
I
a
know
lot of
about
people.
the sport, but my stop pissing me, brother. What are you saying? Hey, Pam, this man got we love, brother. Pam, this man got we love.
Well, I gonna be low on this one because me and all them two players that he just named.
Um, Barry Bonds to me was one of the greatest players of all time. Ken Griffey Jr. and David Ortiz.
Okay.
See,
Nice, man.
I know them three last players.
Yeah.
So, who was your favorite baseball player growing up?
My favorite baseball player growing up, my brother used to always tell me I don't play the game like Tony Gwynn. But I used to tell him, listen, as a Braves fan by us, Terry Pendleton was my favorite baseball player coming up.
Hey, you know what's crazy? That was my favorite baseball player growing up too.
Really?
Exactly.
Yeah, I just saw my little league baseball card and it had Terry Pendleton, my favorite baseball player. It's crazy.
You don't
Yeah,
think Tony
yeah.
Quinn was better though? Just
No, he was better.
He was better, but as a Braves fan.
And that,
Okay.
yeah,
You're just going with the team
yeah,
spirit. I
yeah,
agree. I
Braves.
with you. I with you.
Yeah, Braves used to show all the time on TBS, back home, and then you got Cubs and WGN. So
Exactly.
I was just about to say that the only reason why I used to follow Braves was I paid more attention to Braves because they were always on TV growing up. They
yeah,
were
yeah,
always like
I was
always,
on TV.
I
Always.
used to hear about this Greg Maddox, Greg Maddox,
yeah,
Greg Maddox.
yeah,
That's all I like to hear
yeah.
about.
That's the goat. That's the goat, pan.
Hey,
For
Maddox was
real?
amazing. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
that's the
lie.
goat.
Maddox could curveball outside. Man, this dude was a genius.
Yeah, Maras was a boss.
It was overrated. It was Maddox and Smoltz for me.
Maras on sports.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Braves
Don't
used to
sleep on
have
Glavine either.
another player that I used to always play with whenever I would play baseball. I would always play with the Atlanta Braves, but they had a hitter, Chip somebody or
Chipper
somebody Chip
Jones.
Chipper
Chipper
Jones.
Chipper
Yeah,
Jones.
Chipper Jones. Yeah,
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 He came after Terry Pendleton.
yeah. Came after Terry Pendleton. Yeah,
got you.
Terry Pendleton was the man, man. That was the man.
That was the man.
The man for real. Richie no.
But let me ask
Exactly.
you because you have Barry Bonds and a couple of those guys in there. And I always like to ask all baseball players this because my father-in-law is one of the biggest baseball player in the VI as well. He's a legend in terms of Risco Davila, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know you
Yeah.
know he. So he always killing me with these baseball stories. What was your synopsis in terms of steroids in baseball? Did it help them? Did it not help them? Because he always give me a story. They got a man who pumped steroids inside himself for 10 years and the most home run he ever hit was 5. So
I
steroids don't increase nothing.
I feel the same way he feel. I the mechanic of hitting is so so special. You know what I mean? you gotta use legs, you gotta use your hips, you gotta use your arms. It's just everything in you. And I really don't think steroids had a boost on him doing what he did. At all.
Yeah. I think the only thing it helped with power, but I agree with everything you did say. You know, you still gotta hit the ball, you gotta see it, you gotta hit it, everything.
You
But
gotta
it
see,
do,
you gotta hit everything about it.
yeah, it do help with power though. It do help. It do
Yeah,
Well, I
help.
guess
probably.
that's where they felt Barry Bonds had the edge and Sammy Sosa and Mark Maguire because they already had the eye hand coordination, so to speak, so the extra power. But I never know. I mean, these guys was already great hitters before
And
steroids. So
everybody sleeping and Ken Griffey. If he wasn't injury prone, he would have been. He'd have passed Barry Bonds long time.
yeah,
Hank Aaron long time.
he was actually one of my
When
favorite players.
Yeah.
when you watch highlights of this man used to hit the ball so easy, the man. Like he used to hit
Easy.
home runs so easy. Like it
He
was
and
nothing to
Rafael
eat.
Palmeiro was two dudes. I used to wonder if they got iron in their bat. They don't swing.
Did a check, sir.
Rafael Palmeiro used to have the
That's
easiest swing in the world.
that's a perfect example. Rafael Palmeiro is a perfect example. No disrespect to Rafael Palmeiro, but I'm telling you, some guys you saw them hit the ball and you'd be like, nah, no way, and
Who
you no way.
who was the
Yeah.
person that get caught with steel in the back when they hit the ball back break and they had a little steel in
Sammy
the middle?
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa, yeah, that cork, yeah,
It was
They were
no,
using for
yeah,
BP.
it was Sammy Sosa.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that.
yeah, man.
Hey, I don't really mind. They say chicks like the long ball, so it is what it is. I mean, I love it too, so I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to the
What's
purist
up?
debate,
What
since Mumbai is a pitcher, you guys like the 1-0 score and the no hitter score. I actually like to see that ball leave the park, so I don't really mind.
Man, them 1-0 game is stressful games, man.
Best
It's
games in baseball. Best games in
hard to
baseball.
watch. I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to watch. It's like, goddamn,
You
they ain't
say
not
hard to watch.
this man
Imagine
3 times
playing.
already. They can't figure it out, man. Jesus Christ,
Imagine playing in one.
We
man.
we got a question. We have a question. We got a question from Carrie Ann Shepherd. I don't
That's
know
a
if you. Oh,
that's a long ass question.
she said, I don't know. I don't know if you asked this already, but ask him if when he was younger, did he set a goal for how far he would go in baseball, like playing in the major league? And at what age did he make the decision? And what goals did he set in place to get there? That's a long question for real.
I'm telling you, Richie, that's my sister.
The
She's a
shepherds, we
lawyer.
saw the shepherds, the shepherds.
Um, they just got
um,
excuse Shepherd family.
at
That's
a
man
young age,
crazy, brother.
at a young age, of course, you know, everybody dream is to make it in the major leagues, right? And that's one goal you set for yourself. But I think the ultimate goal for any player, for me, was if I do make it to the pros, my goal is to make it to the Hall of Fame. Because it's good and done to win titles. It's good and done to win this, to win that. But if you make a goal to win a World Series, when you make the World Series, then what? What happens after that? You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I say, okay, I want to make it to the Hall of Fame, then I go do what I need to do to take the steps. I can win multiple championships. I can win multiple MVPs or whatever. Where I going to take it to get the numbers to get into the Hall of Fame. So that was my ultimate goal.
Wow.
Right.
That's a-
I don't know if I remember when Tracy McGrady and Robert Horry had a little beef going because Tracy McGrady said, you know, I never win a title, but I would take Hall of Fame over a title any day, and I agree with Tracy McGrady all day long
yeah.
Yep.
because
true.
as much trophy as Robert Horry get, I guarantee Tracy McGrady's name gonna live on longer than his.
Of course.
You're right about that. You're right about
You
that.
know, I have
Big
a guy in NFL. I can't remember his name. They did a story on him. You know, he
Who?
went a guy in NFL. He was a quarterback, but you know, he went 9 NFL championship and never play a game. You know,
What?
we
I
don't,
I
didn't
don't
know
even
don't
know
that.
who
play
that
his
be.
name. You can look it up. 9 NFL championship. Every time they trade him to a team, that team win.
He
And
was
he
out with the
never
backup.
play a game back. So obviously the Hall of Fame is much more coveted than the championship. Your
Right.
name is gonna live forever and ever.
Yeah,
Exactly.
forever. That's true.
Zay.
Man,
Yeah,
that's pretty good, man, Richie. That's good,
I
man.
don't know what Robert Horry was on. I know he just speaking for he claimed because he win. How much he win? 6?
6-6.
6?
Ain't
Yeah,
six?
I know he. Yeah, I
I
think
thought
it's
you were
6. He
like
win 2.
It
He
was
win 2
7.
with Houston. One with was it 1 or 2 with San Antonio, and then he went
Spurs.
on to win 3 with well, it might be 7. He
Rockets.
went
I
on
think
to
he's
win.
7. Yeah, I think 7 or 8.
Rockets.
I think it's
Yeah.
7.
No, Hall of
Yeah.
Fame is
He
the
went.
That's
best.
a
I mean,
lot.
look at this is the greatest example in terms of basketball. You have the guy for Celtics. He have 11. Russell.
Bill Russell, yeah.
Yeah, but you still have Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time. Mike only win 6. So it's about your legacy that you leave and what people have in their lasting memory. It's not about how many
Right.
championships you win. You can just be lucky and just be on that team that just keep winning. But
Exactly.
it's your contribution. And it's the same argument we've been making all day. You can actually sit on a bench and win a championship and think you're the greatest thing from sliced bread, but you never played. What is your contribution? You have none. You know what I'm saying?
And another
That's
a good
true.
question. I know we're done a baseball interview, but you think Steve Kerr gonna be a Hall of Fame for being a player or a coach? He will be a Hall of Famer, but which one you think he gonna go in on now?
I'm gonna have to say coach.
Coach.
I'm
I
about to
don't
Yeah,
think
say,
he'll ever make it as a
yeah,
player.
that's a coach too.
I'm gonna have to
As
say
a
coach.
coach.
Plus,
And he got how much championship as a
1988,
player?
yeah, he had a couple of bit San Antonio and then Chicago,
Chicago and San Antonio.
yeah, and then as a coach, yeah. I mean, I'd rather be in the Hall of Fame though. That's that, like you say, your name, your enshrinement, you're gonna live on forever and ever. People are gonna come to a place and see you. They ain't gonna do that because you have rings. They're gonna do that because you made a contribution to the game as a whole. And I think that has a lot more weight. I mean, Allen Iverson never win, but ain't nobody go ever forget Allen Iverson. I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
you're right, man. It's true, man. You're
Best
talking
believer.
facts, brother. You're talking
yeah.
facts.
Best believer.
So, Richie, so you still be playing you still play baseball or you play like slow pitch softball?
I play fast pitch softball, slow pitch
Fast pitch.
softball, modified softball.
Okay.
I traveled to Arizona to play on the Waves, the 25 hour team. I was supposed, but I haven't made it back since the last time I went was 2016. But between 2005 and 2012, before I mashed up my leg, I was constantly going to Arizona. I took a year, 2 years off, and I went back again, and then I haven't made it back since then. When it comes to baseball,
And is that a professional team you playing on?
no, that's the team from down here.
Oh, okay,
The
okay,
same,
okay.
the same team Robbie play with this year over there is the same team I play for.
Okay.
Okay. That's good,
awesome,
man.
man.
Keeping
Arizona.
up.
Man, I really like this interview. I mean, 2.5 hours, Richie. Like I tell you, if you don't get these boys stop like again all night, but bro, you really made my night tonight. I mean, I learned a lot about you tonight. I'm very proud. Very proud.
Same here.
Give thanks,
I
man.
am.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
I love your philanthropy that you do. And that's probably the biggest thing that's sticking out to me. Um, and even when I text back to Kilo, and tell you what you say, he immediately responded. And that's all good because he see you to do a lot for the youth. So he gonna give you this one, and that was what he make a point to say. So it definitely impressed me. And like Nantigan said in the beginning, we didn't grew up playing baseball, but we slowly becoming big
Fan.
fans and have a lot of respect for you and with playing this because we
Well,
know that ain't easy.
well, I don't know when if we do get this tournament up, and I told Mike, I'll call the commission and say, Commissioner Hansen, please send Tegan over. We need the voice.
Oh God. Please make that call.
That's a
Please
good one.
make that call.
I get in the middle of trying to look up philanthropy because Pang really hitting me with some of these big
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
Right?
You see,
I can't
Pang
really
ain't playing.
We got a dictionary next to you.
Pang trying to get a contract. Pang trying to
Yeah.
get a catch up with ESPN. I see you, Pang. Hey, it's all good, baby.
Use the
It's all
word,
good.
Mama. I can't
Yeah.
Stop
identify it.
playing, my son.
Yeah. You hear
Stop
what Pang,
playing.
you hear what Pang said? Oh, there he went back and studied the tape.
I could tell you. I
Yeah.
could tell you.
Yeah. Hey, that's what I like to hear, man. That's what I
Love
like
it.
to hear.
Hey,
I love
I
the
could be
vocabulary.
I could be your co-host on the mic, Tigo. Come on, man.
Yeah. You
We
know,
could anchor this thing.
So
Richie,
Richie,
man.
any last in shots? Cause I know more of them go, but I gotta run. We got dropped.
No, before Richie go, I just wanted to say he kind of, Richie gave that vibe on it. You know that we talked about Genix and we had Coach Haywood on as well, and we had Basie and we had Raymond thing Lockhart. You know, you give that vibe, man. You just give that vibe that they gave off. As far as coaching, and I just echo everything Pang just said, man. I love what you're doing, man, and we learn a lot. I enjoyed your story, man. The way how you got your scholarship and everything, man. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Give thanks, man.
You
Give
know,
thanks.
So yeah, man. Keep up the
I
good
just,
work, man.
I just
Keep up
think
the
what
good
we're
work.
doing right now, like the Virgin Islands, just need to. I'm not putting nobody on no pedestal, but if we want to inspire the next generation, they need to see stories like this, man. Because when you see somebody who came from what you going through, it gives a little difference in terms of you pursuing your dream. Yes, you can watch LeBron James and Kobe Bryant them story, but you know what? Them man ain't you and you can't touch them. But when you see Richie walking on the street on St. Thomas in St. John, and you say, damn, that was that man's story, I can do it too. It gives a difference. You know what I'm saying? It makes a difference. And hopefully, this is a great show that Mumba really created. And hopefully, we can transform this in terms of the big screen, where we can take all of these different stories and put in like a huge documentary where we can
Yeah.
look at what we got. What I gonna do about it?
Right.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm
true,
saying?
man.
That's
Well
that's
said,
my
Keegan.
biggest goal. That's what I want to see happen.
I agree 100% with you, man.
So, well, we're gonna give you the forum. I know you get some shout out earlier, but you could right before you leave, you could give some more. And if you have anybody in mind to drop a name that you would like to see come on and for us to interview, now is your time to drop the name and go from there.
I would love to see Lynn on this show. Lynn is a great person to have on this show. She have a good story to share. Like I say, Michael Butte, I would love to have Michael Butte on this show as well. Michael Butte been all over the place, the world with children, and he been doing this thing for a very, very long time. And for me, Michael Butte was one of the reasons why the player I am today, you know what I mean? One of the best coaches to me coming out of the Virgin Islands, Michael Butte. I would love to see him on this show. There's a lot more names to call, but I'd like to give a shout out to my team, the Junior Stars organization. I love IBAD. I appreciate you, the parents, the coaches, the players. I appreciate you, man. And the St. Croix side, I appreciate all of you that dealing with Sabah with me. We got Sherry, we got Jenna, we got Renea, we got Ching Ching, you got Assistant Commish, you have Jamila, you have Marisol. I love daily, Whitney, let's say Whitney, Wendy, and Lisa Thomas. I love IBAD. Keep this thing going, man. Let's keep Sabah on the rise in the Virgin Islands.
That's right. Lovely. Lovely.
Can you get in contact with before? Can you get in contact with your little league coach? We would love to have him on. We're gonna have Lynn on. We definitely gonna have her on. But can you get in contact with your coach? We would love to have him on.
Definitely.
Because
I could text you the number now.
Okay, perfect. Because I really want to get a lot of coaches on because they have sacrificed a lot. So it's important that we really focus on them and everybody hear their stories. It's so important that we get a lot of coaches on. So definitely. My bad, Pang. Go ahead.
No, you good. For everybody that watching, we're trying to get our subscribe up on YouTube. Go to our YouTube YouTube page, VI Legend, and subscribe. That's another another version that you can watch the show live. It might be a little easier than Facebook because I always get messages while we shooting, like I can't find the page on Facebook, or I can't find the group. Go to VI Legends, V.I.Legends with an S at the end, and subscribe to the page. Click the bell for the notification. So when we start live, I get notification to let you know when we go live. Then we get the subscribers up.
Man, well said, Beanie.
Well said, Beanie. Well said.
One thing though, Richie, I would like to see on the show from St. Thomas. OMG. I would like to see Senator Carol come on our show. She lighting up the Senate right now. She's making front page news every day, putting fire on these boys, man. She ain't playing. I would like to see she come on, but
she has agreed to do the show. We will get on. She has agreed to do the show.
She on, brother. I have to check every day to see what she's saying in the Senate, my son. She's like Mossy TV.
Yeah. She going on battle for real.
She ain't playing, my son. She putting people in their place, Mumba.
I know she don't play, but she has agreed to do the show, Tiga, and she will come on. She will.
Bring on.
She will. She will. Okay, just don't get her bad side. Okay, do not get on her bad side.
Don't get her bad side.
I got just ask you about Lights because Lights gave her the scholarship. I will never forget that interview there with Wapa. When she grilled there, Wapa man, she said, "Look, we need them lights on the park, and Lights gets her scholarship, so we need these lights." So, we could keep it sports, but we definitely gonna try and dig deep inside. A little bit of the political side.
I don't know. We this show is not political.
I know, but I'm just telling you.
We are. Listen, when it comes to the bonus episodes, we could talk about whatever we want to talk about. Okay. If you want to have on a bonus episode, we could do that. But we honoring and we celebrating.
Because she's a legend also.
Yes, we honor
she
and
definitely
celebrating.
is.
But we can't ignore what she's doing in the set. I love what she's doing. She needs to keep on doing what she's doing. Like Chucky said, keep them in line. We should say so, keep them in line, brother.
Big ups to Senator Saro. Big ups.
For sure.
Big ups. Much love. Appreciate everything. We appreciate everything you do.
Great show. Mumba, it's on you. Richie, it's our love. You don't know. We can always be at this pre-COVID, after COVID. We will still be working with the youths of the Virgin Islands. It's our love. And we together, St. Thomas and St. Croix, in terms of sports park and recreation and all sports. Let's get it done.
Hey, great meeting you today, man. Thanks for sharing your story and enlightening us,
Yeah, man, Punk. Good to meet you too, man.
Likewise, yeah, man.
All the viewers, we all appreciate you tuning in, listening to Richie's story. We appreciate all you guys' support. You guys heard Pang, okay? Future Sports Center anchor, as well as Tegan. Subscribe to the YouTube page, okay? Subscribe to the YouTube page. But we all really appreciate you guys always tuning in, supporting, giving us names, and asking all the questions. Richie, you're more than welcome to come back on the show anytime if you want to discuss anything. You're more than welcome. The Elite Podcast is for the people as well. We just want everybody to get the story out and whatever they want to talk about. We have Andy Hobart, next episode Sunday. It will be at 5 p.m. because that works best for Andy, 5 p.m. Next episode. Thank you to everybody, Richie. It was a pleasure, man. One love you guys.
Hey,
Pang,
it's my honor, man.
I know. So the Elite Podcast, we are out. Good night. Everybody have a good evening. Everybody be safe for tomorrow. We'll see you guys Sunday, 5 p.m. Stay tuned. Beanie, The Voice.
Yes, sir.
Richie.
Yes, sir.
Love.
Bless up. You don't know.
Always love.